Hey girl, how you doing? I see you in the house. Kenyatta, how are you doing? Um, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Sonia Watts, I see you in here. Zan Rowland is in the building. You guys that came on. I know it's Sunday, but there's some things we're gonna get off our chest. I've been on the phone pretty much almost all day, and I wanna speak on it. Some other people want to speak on it. And we tried to do the platform thing over the weekend. Well, actually, it was Friday. We tried to do that, and I see other channels doing it, and that's great. That's gravy. I wanted to share some of the information that we got. Um, how you doing, Barbara? How you doing? Let me go ahead and get started so you guys know what's going on. Uh, Usually, when I have something that I want to share with everybody, uh, I can't wait until Monday because I've been waiting. How you doing, Leslie? I see you in the house of curling. I see you, Renee, Jackie, everybody. Let's get it. Let's get off into some of this conversation this evening. So let me go ahead with it. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back.
Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
TeNika Shenette, the plus-size doll. Do you like to shop online but hesitate because of the uncertainty about sizing and the quality of some items? Have you came across an outfit that you love to rock, but girl, you want to know more about the company and how their items run first? I get it. Check out TeNika Shenette, the plus-size doll on YouTube for the latest updates in plus-size fashion and styles. She does the reviews that you can use. Timing is of the essence, but she will reach out to any company if she's not already signed with them. And get that item or a similar item to try it on first and provide that honest review on sizing, quality, and shipping. She does it all and often can get a discount code exclusively for her subscribers. So subscribe now and shop with confidence knowing if you would size up, size down, or true to size. She also reviews wigs, bundles, hair products. Like I said, she does it all. Measurements are in the description as well as the contact information for business inquiries or collabs. So subscribe today to be a part of the dollhouse where everything is big, bold, and beautiful. The link is in the description box down below.
Okay, family. Yes, we had to get some of our things out of the way. Those are a sponsor. We have a sponsor, Nora's Authentic Designer Handbags. Make sure that the link is in the chat if anybody's trying to find Nora's Closet. The link is trazy.com/closet/Nora915. And that link will be down below. Also, she sponsors this channel. So we have family in here, and we do try to accommodate anyone that has a business. That if we help you get your commercial together, we will run it for you. Um, there's there's a small donation fee of whatever, but something has to be, in the process of that. Just contact me, and we will put something together, and we would share it with the family. And that is one of our family members right there, TeNika. I call her Shanika, but her name is TeNika Shenette. Anyway, you guys, make sure that you check her out, check her channel out. She should be up and running by now. Anyway, a lot of people wanted me to address some situations. Friday, we came on, we had a whole platform, we had people on the panel talking. It kind of went, it was successful, trust and believe it was successful. And I wanted to speak on that. The only thing that I seen that I didn't care for was talking above everyone or talking when someone was speaking. So if you do want to come on the platform, please let me know. I will put the link back in the chat. But before we open up the platform that you can share, remember that we have a full chat room in here that we have to speak to the chat room. They're asking questions, wondering why you think the way you think, and you're voicing your opinion. So I want everybody to know that we're trying our best to get this up and running as professional as possible, and we want to keep it that way, especially respect. Okay. Hello, all Beckerfield in the house. She says Jessica is in here. How's everybody doing? Okay. Now, you guys know that I have been looking at some more information. I want to share that with you. I did post in the community board that the case with the California City Boys did go nationwide. I seen it myself. My husband told me about it. He was like, honey, do you know that there's two boys missing in California City? And I said, yeah, honey, that's the story we've been covering for a month. I said, where did you hear from it? Because he doesn't, I'm usually downstairs and he's usually upstairs, and we just don't talk about those things. Um, he said, I seen it on TV. I said, what? All the way here in Kansas? I said, you lying. He said, no, honey, it was on ABC World News. And they had it on Good Morning America. I said, get out of here. It's done went nationwide. When when D Diva says, I saw that too. I seen it. I was in the kitchen cooking last night, and he said, honey, they got them boys on the TV. I go running in the bedroom, and I'm looking, and I see Orson and Orin, also known as Classic and Sincere. So with you guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, had not you guys being interested in this case, not thinking people's like, oh, you want views and clicks. No. Media, social media is the fastest way to spread the news now. I say it, you say it, Facebook says, Snapchat, Instagram, everybody, and they see what you're interested in, and then they will pick it up. And I've been telling you guys that. And Jenny said, yes, Canada as well. Canada as well is seeing it too. So I want you guys to not stop looking at anybody's that's posting things. That's how you get information, and that's how we share information. But I want to share something with you guys that what is going on this case, and we're gonna get it out because some people think that I didn't know about certain things. Well, there's certain things I don't put on here. And someone made a comment, and Um, Matter of fact, I'll read the comment. I'm gonna go right into it. I'll read the comment to you guys first. Read the comment. Let me go off into it. If I can find my comment thing. Okay, your channel. I dropped one of my phones, so it's acting like I don't know what I'm doing now. So the comment is, and I don't know if you guys go into the comment section, and I'm gonna share some with you guys. Here it is right here. Anytime that you're trying to get information and things, not only what the content creator is putting out there, because sometimes it's going to be a little biased to one side or another, and we don't know why they think or believe what they believe or why they do what they do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying somebody's right or wrong. I'm saying there's an agenda to everybody's content. You know what I'm saying? It may be like, say, for instance, I'm a female, so I'm going to think a certain kind of way. I'm a female. I was raised in a home full of boys and a lot of men, so I do know how they think. I do know what they do. I understand it. My mother gave me away when I was younger, and so my aunt raised me in an environment which I said I came from poor to rich. So I do understand that environment also. Um, and that's why sometimes I may speak the way I speak or whatever. Um, but I also, like I said, a lot of things have happened to me in my life as a young child. And there's a reason why my mother gave me away. So when I was the age of 14, I ended up getting with an older man, which he was 25 at the time. I was 14 because I needed to get somewhere safe. Okay. Take that into consideration. So I, being 14 with a 25, 26-year-old man for 10 to 12 years. Um, I went through a lot of abuse and things of that nature. And until I was around about 26, I left that situation with the child being pregnant at the time. Wanted to make sure that I did not have bring my child up in any situations that I've been in. So I went out on my own and raised my kids, and I didn't let nobody get near my kids for those purposes. Now my kids are grown. I've adopted a kid, and she is also grown. Also, I adopted a kid, but at the age of 12, before I moved out, some man tried to snatch me off the street, just walking down the street. Broke my jaw, broke my teeth, and everything. So some of the new people don't know that. The older people know my story. That's it in a nutshell, without me going off into graphic details of all what have happened. So sometimes when there's people that is very compassionate about these stories about these boys, it's not for clicks and views. I work two jobs. You know what I'm saying? And I do it because I don't have to do it, but I do it because, I'm taking care of my home and my house, my kids, and things around me and things of that nature. I'm not doing it for no money. It doesn't pay that well, too. But when I come on here, especially on Sunday, it's my only day that I have 90% of the day off. I want to share things with you. And I don't want everyone to think that my opinion changes your anything. You see what I'm saying? I'm just wanting to share information. But one thing that I do want to share with you guys, because the young lady, this is what she wrote, and she wrote a full book. She says, this is what she wrote. If you go back into the comment section, you can see it for yourself, but I'll read it to you. She says, I'm going to say this. I do not believe that the AP, which is the adopted parents, are to blame for the boy's disappearance. I think the bio family needs looked into thorough. First off, the AP have nothing to gain from it and everything to lose. They will lose their family home, income, freedom, etc. Now, I don't think that they were wonderful parents. They definitely have faults. The bio mom was at the scene when the news hit. She said that she found out from the news, yet we all did. And she was there. She said in her interview that she was the first person there before anybody else. She knew where their new home was. Yet when she lost custody, the adopted parents did not have any obligations to inform her of anything. Maybe that's why they moved. They did live in the same town as the bio family. The little things that she says during her interviews, the way her demeanor is. Also, she knew that she would never get custody of the children back. Yet she's on television saying that she was working on it. She knows it's nearly impossible. What was the goal? To destroy the adoptive parents' home. That's where her children lived at. I don't care if you hate them, you still don't destroy something that your children use or live in unless it's a distraction to hinder the investigation. Also, what was those posts about that she posted when it first came to light about the boys? She has since taken the post down. I just think folks are looking in the wrong direction. At least cover all options. Find out where the biological family was at during that time. Not just the biological mother either, all of them. Even the first foster mother. I think the boys are still alive. Let's just find them. Okay. With that being said, I spoke and I said one thing to her, and I said, thanks for your input. And yes, we do explore every scenario. Everyone has an opinion. We are actually going to discuss this scenario Monday. It's not new to us, the possibilities, but we do want to keep respect for the biological family and not cause harm or hurt because we think. We have been working on other information, gathering it up to share. But remember one thing, if the boys was in her possession or are in her possession, would or what we say can cause harm to them by speaking out prematurely. Okay? So, what I want to say to everybody is um, first of all, we go with nothing but facts. And if there's no facts on the biological mother, there's nothing we can say. If everybody that's down there in Bakersfield is following the adopted parents, then that's what we see. That's all we know. Now, does that take them off the map? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But if the children are still alive, you guys, it seems only, um, it just seems like to bash a person, and if the kids are with her or with the family, to start bashing them or going after them or getting on media and going through all kind of motions because it do get nasty on media. It can affect the outcome, which is the kids' well-being. So when people come to me, they speak like what I don't see it, or I don't think it could be some other way. Of course, I think of everybody's a suspect. Everybody's a suspect. Okay, it's not you didn't break a new world or new news to anybody in this forum or anybody that's been following this case. You know, you everybody's a suspect. Chief John said that in his interview, he turns around and says that um, they asked, did they take a polygraph test? He says, I'm just asking, did you ask them to take a polygraph test? And he says, of course. Yes, yes, we asked. And he said, but I'm not going to tell you this or tell you that or whatever, whatever. He said, I'm just asking, did you ask? So Chief John says, yes, we asked, but he didn't say nothing else. But he didn't tell if they said yes, if they took it, if they passed, if they failed. He didn't say anything. So we take that. Did they pass? Okay, if they took it, did they not say no? Okay, so we wait and we wait and we wait. And John turns around again and says that the adopted parents is not a suspect. So what do that tell us? That tells us if he asked, they probably took the polygraph test and passed if they're not a suspect now. Think about it. They're not a suspect now. And they took a polygraph test. Because if they would have took a polygraph test, because you asked, they either said yes or no. And if they said no, they would be suspect right now. If they said yes and didn't pass, they would be suspect right now. But if they pass, or they wouldn't be suspect. Criminality says that ticked me off, saying AD not a suspect. Black Jay said they didn't take the test. How do you know, Black Jay, that they didn't take the test? We all have rights to take it or not take it. But for John Walker to come out and say they are not suspect, you become suspect when you don't take the test. These are your kids missing. And then there's something else. And I'm gonna say this. I don't think they are ready to name suspects. Well, they said that they're not a suspect. John, the chief of police, says they're not a suspect. Something fishy. Okay. But here's what I'm gonna do real quick. Let me share with everybody something real quick. Why would he be a suspect? Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Let me gather this up. And I think I got it. I want to show, let me see, where is it at? I want to show you guys something, and just something for you to think about. That's why we came on here. First of all, let me make sure. Oh, yeah, we did do the 107. Okay, thank you, Lord. I was going to say, you guys, I don't want to get in trouble because people getting channels taken and getting put in timeout. When you don't see a channel on, it ain't because people sick and had they on timeout because people get mad one way or another. I'm on the fence. But I want to share something with you. Hold on. Okay. First of all, family, this is back in 2019. That's the old home right there. And then this is the home that's across the street. I want to share this with you because I want you to see this is the home down the street a little bit. This is the home that must have the video. It must have the video because it's pointing towards their home. It's pointing directly towards their home, and we don't see no houses over there in the lot or anything. But what I really want you to look at is this home right here. You see where the mailbox is? The mailbox is directly in front of their home to the right upper hand corner. You see the mailbox? Did everybody see the mailbox right there? Everybody, let's take a look at it again. I want everybody to be on the same page. Okay? There's a reason why we came in here. Let's take a look at it again. This is 2019. So the homes look a little different. It's 2021 now. That's their home right there. This is the home across the street. There's two houses across the street. This is the home right there. There is a full open lot right there. There's the home right there. So we know it's not that home. So we know it's this home that's right across the lot from them that's showing the video. It has to. It's changed a little bit by the fencing and everything, but it is the house that's directly showing their home. We go up a little bit. We looking right there. The fence has changed right now, but their mailbox is still in the same place, right to the right in front of their home, just down the street a little bit, right there. Are we all on board on there? Both videos shows things to question. Okay? Them not being suspect doesn't mean they didn't do it. That just means they do not have enough hard evidence to put the label on them, especially if the AP have lawyered up. I would lawyer up too if people's coming at me trying to put something on me, or if I know I didn't do something. Thank you, Informational Man Show. Thank you for showing up to the chat in the channel. I visit Informational Man Show just the other day, you guys. He's got a nice farm over there. If you guys don't know his channel, make sure you go over there. I visit every now and then, and I was over there yesterday enjoying myself in his commentary. Make sure you go, and thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Super chat. I'm gonna have to get my little dance on. And you guys, he's got a really good channel. So go over there and check him out. Okay? And we have to support each other, you guys. Trust and believe. You sometimes, I know this is a forum and we have 95% women in here, but sometimes we need to check out what these men is talking about, because we need to know what's going on. So I do want to show everybody something. So let's get it, okay? You're welcome. You guys make sure you go to Information Man Show. Trust me, okay? It's good commentary over there. That's where I go when I want a peace of mind and just, you know, think of some things that's going on and everything. And thank you for the super chat. This is what I want to share with everybody. Here we go.
She said she was wrapping gifts and she left my 2 kids out in the backyard because she didn't want them to see the gifts. But you didn't let the other kids out. Where were the other kids? Why my 2 just go back there? At night, she said it was dark. And it's cold right now, so I know it was cold then. So I don't believe it.
So when did she tell you this? Where were you when she told you this?
I just came here 45 minutes when nobody was here. 45 minutes to an hour, and we knocked on the door. And it took them a minute to come, and he came out. And he want to say he's sorry and all that. I just don't feel in my heart that it's something. They're not.
Do you have a relationship with these parents?
I don't know them. I don't know them. They did something. I feel like they did something, and they know something. They did something. And I feel my kids is somewhere around here. I can feel it. And I feel like they're in the house. And I feel like they did something.
Okay. So everybody remember, something does not add up. They did something to those kids. Yes, the first lady, the lady that's behind the young lady, the biological mother, that is the foster mother. Not the first adopted mother, but she's the first foster mother. She didn't say where she was. She didn't answer exactly. And here's the thing. This is what she said. This is what you guys are missing. See, you pick up a lot, but she said, I was one of the first ones here before everybody else, 45 minutes. Someone asked her before then, how did you know that your boys were missing? And she said something about AV News crew or something, which nobody knew they were classic and sincere. Everybody knew them as Orin and Orson, okay? But she showed up. She was one of the first ones that showed up. 45 minutes before everybody else got there, okay? In the ABC News, I'm going to read this. You guys can find it yourself. Matter of fact, I'll let you take a look at it so you'll know where I got it from. The $2 still missing. This is because the news goes out now and everybody is on it. She was in an interview. It says, in an interview with ABC, Good Morning America, airing Saturday, the boy's birth mother, Ryan Dean, said she found out about the boy's disappearance from a news article. I just want to share that with you. She said, I looked more into it and I read everything and I just started going a little crazy, said Dee. So now, in the interview with ABC Good Morning America, she said that she read it from a news article. Now, she did know who they were because she said at one particular time she followed them. She hid in the bathroom and she followed them and she spoke to Jacqueline and she wanted to be in the boy's life. And Jacqueline, and she said she wasn't a bad mother. And she said, most definitely you're not a bad mother. But she said Trezell wouldn't even speak to her. And he was just nonchalant about it or whatever. Nonchalant is my words. I can't remember exactly what she said. I do know that we have it here. But to try to find it, she said, the West barely want to speak to me, she said. So, with that being said, I want to share this last clip with everyone before I get off into you guys. I want you guys to talk and tell me what you see. Here we go. What you're seeing is the video that AV had required. This is the December the 19th. As you see up there real close, December the 19th, they were loading all the kids up into the van at this particular time. They loading up all the kids in the van. We don't know if it was four. We see four people was trying to count and everything. We don't know if they were carried to the van or whatever. But so we really don't know if there's four kids is in the van or six. We can only assume or say what we believe or whatever. So I wanted everybody to know, when we assume or we want to assume, we can be wrong. We don't know. But the boys that they had in custody said the last time they seen Oren and Orson was on the 19th. So we don't know if they was in the van. Now, I jumped straight to this part because this is what I want everybody to see. As they were leaving their home, look right there where the mailbox is, right there. They pulled out right there. Now, look to the right. Look to the right there. You see a person walking out right there, and then they walk back in. Now, some people say they were checking the mail. The mailbox is not there. The mailbox is not there. So why would someone walk in the middle of the street and watch them leave their home unless they've been watched? Don't look where he's pointing. Look to the right. Look to the right. Okay, the milk, see, right there, they leaving. I want you guys to see this. They're leaving. The mailbox is right there to the right. And look at that person. I'm going to circle it. I'm going to arrow it. The mailbox is right there. This person right there is walking out, watching them leave. I'm backing it up. I want you guys to see. Some people say it's a man. I don't know. When I blow it up, and I'm going to blow it up for everybody to see. And I'm not assuming and I'm not accusing of anything or anybody. I just want everybody to see what I see. And I really don't see this as being a man. I'm just saying. But they've been watched. They're watching right there. Let's blow it up. Check it out. We blow it up as much as we can so we can still see the figures and stuff as this person goes. This right there is a person, looks like they've got a full figured body. They got a V shape, but they are watching them leave their house on December the 19th. That's not going to the mailbox because the mailbox is nowhere near where this person is going into the gate and out the gate. That's right across the street from their house. And if we go back on there was a fence. There's a fence. Let's check it out again, you guys. Let's look at it. This is their house. This is the house across the street. And this right here. They got a fence now that goes all the way across, but their mailbox remained in the same position. I'm showing everybody this for a reason. Really pay attention.
Message has always been as soon as possible, call the California City Police Department and please bring our babies home. And that's that.
That's one of the reasons why we actually didn't want to do this.
This is the reason why. Because we were under orders to stay in the house and stay because they're going to need to contact us. And we cannot go outside, and that was the issue. And that's that.
Look where the mailbox is, right behind her head. Look where the mailbox is. Okay, family. Tell me what you guys are thinking. Tell me what you guys are thinking. Because I had a young lady call me the other day, and she's probably going to come on here and share some things with you guys. And this situation touched her, and same situation, and she was bashed and whatever. And she said, SP, I was in that same situation, and I went somewhere, and I had a gun, and I was going to go get my kids, and da 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 da. And I'll let her tell her story. And if you think about it, when somebody snatches your kids from you, just put yourself in that person's shoe. She said that the kids were, instead of playing with blocks and toys, the little plastic things that look like pizza, the kids was putting them in the mouth thinking it was real food, and you being the mother, and you're looking at this, and you're going, and you seeing your kids' cheeks sucked in or something. I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm just stating some of the things that people are sharing, and I'm sharing it with you guys, and the things that I know. If I was the mother, I'm not telling nobody to go out there and do something of that magnitude, because you can try to work it out, and she was at the last end. So yes, we do know that there's a possibility that could be there. So what are you guys thinking? You guys ain't not talking to me. If you want to call in, please call in. Tell me what you're thinking, because I need to know. My number is 316-553-3056. Call in. Tell me what you're thinking about. There's the number right there. Vicky says maybe she has someone. I don't even want to say it. She said, can I bash for them for not searching? Yeah. She said, purple, that is how they dress too. Somebody say hey, this is SP.
Hi, good afternoon, SP. Happy Sunday. This is Sugar 28 calling.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great, SP. I want to say a blessed thank you to you and all your subscribers. And I'm happy and thankful at the job you're doing, you and your staff. And I want to wish you and everybody a blessed and happy Sunday. First, SP, I want to say on this case, this is the touching case. And I'm not throwing no stones. I have been in that situation a few years back. I'm a good mama, and I'm still a good mama, thanks to God. I spanked my kids, and I never thought that would happen to me. My ex-husband called police for me. They arrested me, took my kids away from me. And I was heartbroken. Terrible, because I don't have anybody out here, no families, anything. To make a long sentence short, they placed my kids in a home. I had two boys and one girl. They put the boys in the same place, they put the girls in different place. And it was heartbreaking to me. I had to go to parenting classes, domestic violence classes, and there were times, I was so tired, but had to make the effort to go and visit my kids. It was heartbroken to me, SP. And when I see these two babies are missing, you have to switch all the coins, all the puzzles around to find out. Why did it happen? How did it happen? Ask yourself questions, and everybody keeps saying and asking themselves, where are the boys? I'm having nightmares, and it's not easy. But at the end of the day, these two babies are still missing.
Mm-hmm.
My heart goes out to every female out there that produce babies and seeing this story. It is really, really a touching story.
Yeah, it is.
At the end of the day, the name of the game is wherever these babies are, if they are alive, please bring them home. If they are dead, please bring them home. And SP, my kids could not vanish. And for me to be going in a store shopping, and look what I'm shopping for. Forget that. If you're shopping for anything, you don't have to shop for it. Get a Bible and pray to bring your kids home.
Right.
It's touching.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on. The social worker, the POCO, a lot of people are involved. And the POCO might just say that they are not a suspect to make everybody lay low. But at the end of the day, bam! Like my mama always used to say, you take a bucket to the well. And one of these days, this bucket will stay in the well. So we just have to hope and pray for the best.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you, SP, that I get to speak on your show. And I love your show, how I got up with your show. I was just sleeping for YouTube and I got it. And I said, wow. And it touched me. And from since then, I'm glued to it. And keep up the good work. Your show is a no-nonsense show.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Go ahead, caller. Call on in. You guys. So we do cover both sides, you guys. We don't just, we're just going to go this route or go that route. We do cover both sides. Hey, this is SP.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Hey, this is SP?
Yes.
Hey, SP, this is Ruby.
How you doing, Ruby?
How you doing? I'm watching your live, and I watch it all the time. I enjoy your show.
Mm-hmm.
And my input is, I do think they did something to those kids.
You think who did?
I think the adopted parents did something to those kids.
The adopted parents? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think they either sold those kids for money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they actually killed them. I really don't think they killed them. I think they actually sold them for money.
Mm-hmm.
That's my issue.
Yeah. You know, we were having a full conversation with Sincere. I guess he's the first child that had an issue with being leg broke or whatever. And I guess he knows sign language, so he may be nonverbal. They have not told us these things, but I mean, we're assuming that these kids adopting them, they come with a check. Um,
Right.
if they come with a check, why would they take a stable income and get rid of it? And something else that the news did say, and it bothers me, but we have to let everybody know what we heard. And they said ABC News, World News says that the 4 kids that they have in custody is their kids, 2 biological and 2 is adopted that they have in custody. So all 6 kids are their kids. 4 is adopted, not 2, but all 4 is adopted. Because I was wondering, why would they place those kids with the sister if they foster kids? If they foster kids, they go to another foster home and they don't never return to the same foster home before, because those are not your kids. But if they're their kids, if they adopted 4 kids, see, we got a lot of information that's not right. But
And that's a lot of money that they get.
that's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
So, what was their lifestyle like with all that money? Because it looked like they didn't have anything.
Right. You're right.
So if they didn't have anything and they wanted even more, do you really think they would have sold those kids for that extra money?
Well, if they fostered them, they people thinking once you adopt, then the money runs out. But if the kids have disabilities or they were drug addict babies, drug dependent or something, the money continues to come on. The money continues to come, and you don't have to worry about them taking the kids out, and you don't have that money is stable income now because those kids come with a check.
Yeah, but I think they actually did something to those kids, or either it had to be the biological father,
right,
of the one that's not locked up. Now that's my other theory, but I don't think they killed him.
Right. And I don't know which one of the kids' father is supposed to be locked up, but one of the fathers was there. And then someone, and this is just all rumor, this is all he say, she say, but one of the dads is a married man.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. And that's why he gave up his rights. So I don't know who's locked up or who was in jail, but the one guy, I know he's a rapper and he may not be locked up, or maybe he was at one particular time, but we get information and we think it's golden, that it lasts us forever. Like somebody's in jail doesn't mean that they're in prison. They're in jail for that day or that weekend, or they got to do the 30 days or whatever. But one of the fathers was there and one of them was not. But it was said that one of the baby's father, which was Classic's father, I think it was Classic's father, is the one that is a married man.
And that's the one that did give up all the rights, right?
Yeah, and that's probably why we're not seeing the fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Because if that guy, the other one that wasn't married, if he was locked up at the time whenever those kids got taken, how do you know he didn't want his child? That man probably wanted his baby.
Well, he's got 8 kids.
Oh.
By a whole bunch of different women. He's got 8 kids. Well, some men want a whole bunch of kids, especially boys, I mean, just because you got 8 kids, my mother, she bared a lot of kids and she loved us all. But
these little boys out here, they some kitty kids. These guys out here, these little boys out here with 2 or 3 kids ain't even take care of. Imagine 8.
Right.
And you still a child.
Right. And he wants to be a rapper. And he wants to be a rapper. And I'm not.
Yeah, that's like that.
I'm not downing no one. I'm just stating the things we heard.
We just saying.
Right. And Elaine says both alleged fathers signed their rights away. No, that's not alleged. They did sign their rights away. There's no way that they can put those both kids up for adoption unless the parents lose the rights or they sign them away.
Mm-hmm.
And the adopted parents said that both fathers signed the rights away. Now, with the mother, they took the rights from her. They literally took the rights from her. And then this is what I'm saying. Okay, so everyone is saying, well, they took her kids because maybe it was mir. Okay, they took the first child because the femur bone was broke, which is a really hard bone to break. Somebody said something of, and I'm just going by rumor that the babysitter or someone tried to get the baby out the couch, and that's what broke the baby's femur bone, which is very hard to break. But nevertheless, she took the child to the hospital, and they must have investigated. If she told them that the child was at the daycare, then they couldn't say, "Well, you done this. We're taking the kids from you." If you was at work, regardless if you smoke weed or whatever, if you was at work when this child got hurt, you tell them that it happened at the daycare or whatever. They have to investigate. If they can't find that you either didn't have a job or you was not at work or that didn't happen, to come and say, we're taking the kids from you. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. You could have easily came and said, hey, look, I need a group of people to come with me because guess what? My child got hurt while I was at work and they're taking the kids from me. Sometimes we get to a point, nobody's trying to help nobody. Everybody's just going about their way. But that story that she was at work and it happened at a daycare, she took the child to the hospital. When they investigate, they're going to find out if the child was at a daycare or a babysitter. Oh, and was you really, yeah, and was you, do you work? And what was your hours? Was you at work? And if it didn't, if that was not true, and they you lied and the child got hurt,
then it's a problem.
It's a problem because you say the child got hurt at a daycare. Well, if there's no daycare, you didn't give them the daycare's name, you didn't give them the babysitter name, and you just saying, like what right now, if my child get hurt and I go to the hospital, this actually did happen. We was over my mom's house. My friend of mine from Kansas City came down. He was helping my mother's yard or whatever. My son was standing in front of the car. Instead of hitting on the brake, he hit on the gas and he hit my son. I pick my son up, put him in the car, and I tell my friend, get in the car. And he's done lost it. He's like, oh my, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I said, no, my mother's mad, my whole family's mad at him. They want to fight him, beat him up, or whatever. And this is not a person that you can just beat up and think everything's okay. Because like I say, I tell people I come from the streets. So this is one of those street guys that has a lot of people following him or whatever. And he was just doing me a little favor. So it's going to be family against family or whatever. But we get to the hospital and I said, just tell him what happened. He tells him what happened. I tell him what happened. It was an honest accident. The foot just went off instead of him stepping on the brake, he stepped on the gas or whatever, and it ran into my son. Now, he could have went to jail. If he would have went to jail, he just would have went to jail. But we're going to tell the truth because this is my child, and I'm not going to lose my child because you scared. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know what happened. No, I know what happened because I was there.
He didn't tell him what happened, and it was
yeah.
just a mistake.
Yeah, and I don't care how big you are on the street. I'm not going to lose my kid because you made an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened, but it just seems to me if she has a red card and she can smoke marijuana, whatever it is that she can smoke, I don't see how they can just take her kids and say, well, now you got to just stop smoking marijuana. You know what I'm saying?
Just like one of your callers said on the last show, they said it has to be a lot for them to take your kids. They give you chances. They're not going to come in and just automatically take your kids. They're going to give you a chance. They're going to investigate. It's just not just gonna automatically take your kids. So it had to be some real issues in that household for them to take them kids.
Right.
Because I'm from here in North Carolina, and I know a lot of little young girls that I grew up with. They had social service all in their house, and they telling me this and that and the other, and some of them were false claims, some of them were true, and they told me, and I understand that some of them they did get their kids taken, but they would get them back.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I know a young lady right now that's working to get her kids back, and she's right there to get them. But I mean,
whenever you get them adopted and you can never get them back, it's dangerous.
Well, and you know what? It's not like it happened like it just popped up. There's chances, and they have to tell you. They tell you in letters, whether you want to accept those letters or not. They've got to make a decision, because when a kid get a certain age, they're not so cute anymore, and nobody wants them. And now the system got to put them in a situation where they're paying someone to watch them, take care of them, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and so they want to place the kid as young as possible, so that maybe a family will care for them and love them. But their whole goal is to reunite the kids with the parents. It's supposed to be to reunite the kids with the parents and give them chance. But if they're giving you chances and you're not going to the classes, you're not stopped smoking, because they're thinking to themselves, well, if you're not, okay, maybe you didn't do this, but maybe you did do it. But here's the thing, you're pregnant with another child. Stop smoking this, whatever you need to, so we won't even think that you've done this, and we give your kids back. No. Well, things do get out of line when you don't want to. There's rules and regulations, just like the road. When you get your driver's license, they say ignorance is no excuse. You got to know the rules of the road, no matter what. You're at fault when you back up and you hit somebody from the back. You automatically, you at fault. You at fault if you don't look behind your car. You at fault. These are rules of driving. There's just like when it comes to kids, when a child get hurt, we will get so angry if CPS don't take the child out the house, and then now we got 2 kids that's hurt. And then CPS knew about it, we would be like, why you let the kids stay over there? You seen this, the child leg was broke. So you take the child out. Yeah. And there is a rumor, and I don't know for sure, but even mother has a diagnosis of something. I'm not going to put it out there what it is, but it's nothing to play with. So they want to know if the mother's stable enough to take care of these kids. We were looking. Did you follow the case with the cupcake case?
Yes.
Okay, well, you remember Miss Brown, she knew where her kids was, over to her the baby's daddy's sister's house. She went over there with a gun, and she said, give me my kids. Yeah, she went over there and got them.
With the police.
Yeah. She didn't even get all of her kids. She snatched up as many of them as she could. And it was, I think the twins she snatched up, but I mean, she had more kids than that, but she snatched up those, and those kids could have got hurt, because sometimes women think, if I can't have my kids, nobody's going to get them.
That's sad.
And that is why now we're seeing women jumping off of buildings with their kids in their arms.
Drowning themselves with the kids in the car.
Yeah.
Like, honey, don't you love yourself and your baby?
Yeah. So, we try to keep it respectful to understand that we will be here. And like I said, if someone, and I'm just being honest, if someone took my kids, and that's, we find ourselves backed up against the wall in a corner somewhere, and you got my kids, and you're acting like you can't talk to me, and I can't see my kids, and I'm looking at their cheeks sunk in, you're not cutting their hair, they picking up dirt thinking it's cut, food or whatever, and they're crying and they don't want to go with you. What am I gonna do?
A mother's instinct. What a mother would do.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't sit here and I will bash someone or fault them. I mean, even though that it's wrong, I'm just not going to. You know what I'm saying? And they could have railroaded her. We don't know. Uh, it's kind of weird to me that with everybody's reaching out to her saying, "Hey, we will help you. We will help you get an attorney. We will help you fight for your kids or something." And but you're not talking. But every time when you do talk, you're going on this news or that news or that news, and then your story is not even lining up.
Yeah, all we want to know is where are the boys? Because I do not believe those boys are deceased whatsoever. Somebody has those babies.
Well, at first I didn't want to believe that the adopted parents done something. It never made sense to me. Why would they hurt both kids?
Why would they do it?
Why would they? This is their money. This is their ticket. This is why they got the house. This is why they got the van and things of this. Well, I don't like their parenting skills. I don't like it. I know this. And if I was the parents of Sincere and Classic, would I do the same thing? I might, because I don't like their parenting skills. They act nonchalant. They act like they're not bonding. It's all about the money. We see that. And I know the world see that too. And hopefully that those kids can go to one of the family members and maybe she can get herself together. But, eventually somebody's going to go to jail for this. And I believe that everybody's looking at these adopted parents because we don't like their parenting skills and how they're acting. But there was a reason why Jacqueline was like, because the biological such. And I had to tell somebody today, we were talking on the phone, and I said, and I look at how the young man Trezell carried himself. He stepped right in and he said, This is why we didn't want to come out. And she was like, what? Because guess what? His mother taught him very well how to speak. Yeah, his mother taught him very well how to speak and how to be professional. Where she's a little bit more on the ghetto side. Nobody want to say that, but it's true. And I don't care. She is. And if you see Jamel, he's making waves in what he's doing, being in the NAACP, and then he's with this young lady. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make it on these on the backs of these babies and things of that nature. Then turn around. He speaks very good. I know he's talking about paying out and hitting corners and all this other stuff. But to be honest with you, if you really pay attention, when he spoke up like a man's supposed to do for his wife, especially when she's getting ready to go off. Someone asked me the other day, how can they speak so boldly? Why do they got all this confidence? You know why? Because they want to say one thing. I know that the adopted parents, because guess what? We ain't got them, and ain't nobody gonna run around sneaking in the back door in somebody's backyard trying to get two kids. Think about it. If you was a pedophile, would you go try to get two kids? And one of the statistics is, little girls get taken all the time because there's a reason, because they have this and have that. But boys, it's not so common that two boys come up missing. That wanted him. Who wanted him? Who wanted him? The one that seemed like they wanted him was the mom. I went to court fighting custody for my son, and my mama, I cried and cried. My mama said, "What is you doing?" I said, Now I won the custody battle and things and all this other stuff. Yeah, I won that. But then when stuff got really bad, my son, a couple of years go by and he started getting in a lot of trouble. I called his dad. After winning everything, I called his dad and I said, I got to send him to you because they're going to kill him because of this and that and all this other stuff. Not getting in my business, but that's what he said. He's way in Las Vegas. I said, I'm sending him on a plane, what is it called, red something, whatever, Red Bull, red flag, whatever, and get him all up there. We get him up there. He had someone sitting with him the whole entire time to make sure that they hand him off and everything. He get him up there. I'm crying because I can't see my son or whatever. After winning in court and everything, because I love my child so much, I don't want him to get killed because gangs and all this other stuff that's going on. But here's the thing: do you not know within 6 months, his dad calls me up and says, "I'm sending him back home to you." You know what I'm saying? So my mother told me, don't you want your kids? You want your kids. He's already got kids. You know what I'm saying? You crying. Thank you, soldier girl. Red eye. Um, he got kids. He want to bond with his kid, but he don't want the kid. He don't want that kid. The kid don't come with money. Now, if you tell him you're gonna pay child support, he only paying you $30 a month to $100 a month. But when you pay child support because of the job you have, you've got to pay him $500 a month for that child. That's why he wants that child. He don't want the child. He wants some money that comes with it. And that's the biological dad. Now, had he just want the child and we can just work it out, we'll make sure that the child is okay, I would have gave him his child because he's a man and this is a boy. And I think he will do a better job than I will with raising up a son, right? But I know because I'm the mother, you don't want your son. You want the check.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
And then whenever they want to come around, they think that somebody's trying to push them away.
Right.
Well, what do you say?
Right. Right. So I look at this. I look at this young mother, and we've been watching her and everything. We've been reaching out. We reached out to the father. We reached out to the grandfather, and you know, there's one other thing I want to share. I don't. I You can go find it for yourself, you guys. The father says, say the kid's name. Their name is sincere and classic. That's possession. That's saying that they want to be recognized, that these kids is their kids and things of that nature. But not only that, and I'm going to say this, and they may not ever come on the show. I may be messing it up right now. But here's the thing. They have this thing with the biological grandfather that on his page is they will help anybody work out any situation without a human sacrifice for a certain amount of fee. You lose your kids, we'll help you get them. You lose your home, we'll help you get them. Without a human sacrifice, we can get it done. Pay a certain amount of fee. And I'm going, what the heck?
I know. Is that the same? Is that her father, the same one
Yes.
that was saying that he's gonna take, he would have took care of the kids and this and that and the other?
Yes. Yes.
And if that was the case, then why didn't they give them to him?
I don't know. I don't know.
So it had to be something. It had to be something. But it seems like she's the only one that wanted those babies. Somebody got those kids.
Right.
I'm praying in my heart that they still here, and I still feel like they're here too. I don't feel like they're gone.
Right. Me too. Okay.
All right, XP. I'm going to go and let the next caller come in. Nice talking to you tonight. I'll check in with you next time whenever you do a group chat.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna do that on Wednesday. But the only thing on the group chat when we do, we need to make sure that we don't speak when someone is speaking and give them either we're gonna give them a 2-minute time limit or something so everybody can get it in. You know what I'm saying? Because some people in the chat was asking the people on the channel questions and everybody was just talking amongst each other and it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night. I'm still on the chat. I'm not going nowhere. I'm watching.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Go ahead, caller. Call on in. The Midnight Express. I see Crenshaw in the building. Someone said, ask her. I did. Someone tell me that Crenshaw got approached by Mama West, and she said something to the fact that you right about something, but you're wrong. Um, if she wants to call in, that's fine. Hey, this is SP. Who's calling?
Hey, SP, this is Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm fine.
Wanted to say thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
So I was watching something earlier. I got really, like, something went through my body when I heard it about John, the chief, say that these adopted parents are not suspect.
Yeah, he said that.
How are they not from day one, from the whole beginning of the interview? How are they not suspect?
He said it. I heard it. I heard it myself. He said that they were not. I heard it on ABC News that the adopted parents is not a suspect. And I was like, if they're not suspect, then he must have done a polygraph test because he did say he asked them. He didn't tell us what he did. They say yes or no, but they must have done the polygraph test and passed. And that's why he feels like they're not suspect because he's saying everything that they're saying is true.
But to everybody in the world that has been on this case, that has went and dig deep for information or been out there looking for these babies, how though? Like, how could he get on national news or wherever he said, or however he did his interview, say he's not suspect?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. When we was following the case of the Malia Bass case, the chief of police kind of, when we follow about 5 or 6 cases, we always study what the chief of police says. When the chief of police says there's foul play, there's foul play. When the chief of police, because guess what? They're not going to come on and say there's no foul play. When he says foul play, that means, okay, it doesn't make sense to us that somebody's going to, because you went outside and came back in 2 seconds, your kids is missing. He's saying that foul play is because guess what? Somebody did. It is called kidnapping when they're not your kids anymore, or they're not your kids, or they're not your cousin, they're not your brother, your nephews, or whatever. They're not yours, they're their kids. It's called kidnapping. And you know what? He's not going to come on national TV and then go arrest somebody that he says, no, 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 they're not a suspect. You know why he's got to say they're not a suspect? Because if he allows everyone to keep thinking that they are suspect and they keep, harassing, stalking them, watching everywhere they go, breaking windows, tearing up, fighting, it's getting really hectic. If he say they're not a suspect, back off. Because guess what? They didn't either pass the polygraph test and they're not a suspect, or they got to, guess what? When he was talking about the mountain getting high over here, but over there's none, but we dug up the yard and we can't find this. We can't. Now, could they have lied about something? Maybe somebody went in the house and got the kids, or they left the kids in the house and somebody got the kids and they don't want to tell everybody. They went to go drop the other kids off and left the other kids at home locked up or whatever, because they're not telling that part. But as far as the kid is gone on the 21st, that is true.
I kind of feel like he's covering for somebody. He knows more than what anybody in the world that's on this case knows. Like, I feel like he's covering something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's covering something. Like, he's covering.
Well, let me tell you this. He's the chief of police. He's not getting any money. For him to come on national TV and be dumbfounded and stupid and find out that these adopted parents did something and they had something to do with it, guess what? He will lose his position telling the whole world. He's going to lose. And you know what? He's got nothing to gain by that. Would you do it? Would you lose your job and your position? You don't work for 30 years because everybody's looking at this case because you're covering for somebody. No, you're not, because he could sit down and not say nothing,
Right.
And be fine with it. But when he said that they're not a suspect, guess what? They're not a suspect.
And that's what went through me. And that's what went through me when I heard that. And I was trying to look for that interview. Do you know exactly what that interview is that he said that on?
ABC News, World News. Hold on. The clip that I was just showing you guys, ABC World News. If you Google it, you can find what they said. It came on yesterday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is too, when that picture leaked out of Trezell and Jacqueline going to that adult store,
Mm-hmm.
that blew my mind too. Because why would you be going shopping for things that's very irrelative to you going out and looking for these babies?
Well, they're not looking for the babies because they feel like what I just said.
Right.
And we said this before. They know for a fact that nobody's going to come in your backyard, a random backyard, and take two black little boys. They're not going to do that because you can get shot trying to pick up two kids and all this other stuff. They feel and they believe without saying they're not going to do that because that is like a defamation of character. They're not going to say, she was like, but the biological family. She wanted to say right then, you guys got them babies. That's what she wanted to say. And that's when he stepped in and said, because why would you get mad because they're throwing a tantrum because you lost their kids? Why would you have an attitude? You're having an attitude because you know good and well you don't have them, and now you want to say something. When you point your finger, that tells me something. You know what that tells me? Not that you're correct, but you believe, and not only you believe what you're saying, you're gonna back it up. You will back it up if need be, because you know good and well you don't have those kids.
Right. So they had to make something up to make them look good on camera.
Yeah, and that's why Trezell stopped her in the mid of her going off, because she got that mentality like we have when you a forceful woman and you know for a fact you don't have the kids, you're gonna sit there and you be like, and let me tell you something, you should have been taking care of your own kids. And you're talking about me taking care of your nephew? That's the way it works? No, it don't, honey. If you really wanted your kids, or if you really was worried about your nephew, you should have took care of yourself. Okay, she was ready to go off, and he was like, the reason why we couldn't go out and because this and that. And then she was like, she looked at him like, what? Like, are you taking their side? Because there's a problem, and I'm gonna say this. A lot of people don't want to say it. Some people in the chat room was talking about it the other day, and we're just gonna talk about it.
Right.
The relationship, the marriage. You have an African American and you have a Spanish or Mexican, Puerto Rican, or whatever nationality she is. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't know.
Right.
My nieces and nephew are Puerto Rican. You would think they Mexican, and they're not, and they don't like it. So I'm just addressing it that way.
Right.
But somebody was in the chat the other day and they were saying that African Americans and the Spanish do not get along down there. And to be honest with you, in every state I've been into, they're the two most minority groups that really pretty much live kind of the same way. I mean, they get a little bit more than African Americans, but they do honestly think that, like things, you know what I'm saying? So when we were looking at who showed up to this vigil, it was no African Americans there. It was all Spanish descent there. And so when somebody said something, I said, well, they're fighting, they're looking, they're this, they're there. But here's the thing: you're stalking this African American man. Why are you stalking him so tough like? Because you can catch a case doing that, and going to the home and calling him names and walking down the street, you're stalking him, and he can, but I mean, nevertheless, I love what AV do. Trust and believe. If I was down there, I would do it too. If that was my kid or grandkid, or if it was your kid, I would do it too. So I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying, um, but it's weird how they are one.
Yeah, it's like,
and a lot of people don't like a lot of Spanish people do not like when an African man marries a Spanish woman. They don't like it, and I know that to be true.
With their culture,
I don't know. They almost disown her, but that's just the way it is. It's almost kind of like if an African American man and a Caucasian woman get married, a lot of African American women don't like it. They don't like it.
right?
There's other cultures that does the same thing. When an African American man marries a Spanish woman, they don't like it, so they go after that man, and because she should have stayed over there or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm all for it. I'm not saying I'm all against it. I'm from the old school. I stay in my lane, and that's how I was taught. But I don't put it on other people that that's what you need to do. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I just like to connect to people that has more things that are similar, that I can go through, that I can talk to. I've dated a white man before, and he couldn't get or understand when somebody called me the N word. He didn't get it. He didn't understand. He was like, "Oh, just leave it alone." No, leave it alone. You need to get up there and tell him,
Right?
And he was like, "You don't understand. It's just a word." No, it's not a word.
We don't use that word in our house because my nieces and nephews are mixed, and I love them dearly. And I couldn't even imagine, like, how, like, if my child was missing, I definitely wouldn't be making up any type of story about how they came up missing.
Right.
I would be out there from the beginning, from day one, searching for my child. I would probably lose my mind on not just like being out of character, but freaking out like everybody, like, because it's my child, and my child is my world, and I would not ever imagine my child coming up missing and just making a whole story up on national TV to everybody in the world to hear how sick and twisted you guys are. Like, I'm 31, and I was in the system most of my life. And our system in Kentucky, because that's where I stay, is very corrupted. It's very corrupted.
Right.
Like when I reported abuse on my brother and his wife about my nephew and my niece, I was very distraught about it, because it was like I'm making a report on so many things that's so wrong in their household, and you guys just look at it like it's nothing.
Right.
Like, I don't understand how you become, if you don't like your work as a social worker and you don't want to do your job the right way to make sure these babies that you're putting into people's hands are not people that are going to actually bring them in their home and love them and not do it for the money.
Right.
You all are corrupted very bad. Like, and I was in foster care I was like 15 when I was in foster care. Like,
yeah.
So I know a lot of what goes on with how they run their facilities. Like, it's not good, like, at all. And for us as human beings and for the world to understand how they run their facility, they have to come together and make it better for these parents, that they're keeping children away from people that have minor incidents. But the people that really need their children taken from them, they look at it like it's nothing.
Right.
And that's not fair to the bio families or the bio parents. And this whole story, I've been on it since day one, and it makes me sick how these two can just walk around like nothing, or these children did not exist in the world.
Well, it messes up. It messes up their money, and the spotlight is on their parenting. And I know, if it's true that the foster two kids that they have in their custody is not foster, they are also adopted. That is what the world news says. They don't say that they're foster kids. They say that they are adopted kids also.
Right.
Wow, that blew. It's like I said it before, and everybody was like, "No, SP, you're wrong." And I was like, "Okay, I thought that they all four was adopted." They
Right.
said, "No, you're wrong. There's two." I said, "Okay, that's why sometimes it's good to just stand your ground until you get a fact." Now, we don't know for a fact, but the news is the one that said that the four that is in custody is their children. Two biological and two is all adopted. And that's not including the ones that is lost.
Right, right. And another thing that
That's
got
crazy.
me too was when they did their interview, it was like she was saying about the bio family. Well, what do you expect the bio family to react to something when it comes to their children? How do you expect them to react? Like, oh, we don't want to do this interview because of the bio family. Okay, well, her babies are missing. How do you expect her to react to that? Because apparently you guys don't care nothing about these children, but the bio family does, because that's why they reacted the way they did on that interview.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. I just pray and pray, and I just pray that these babies are safe and maybe in a better place.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard for everybody because they're still out there searching for these babies. It's been 5 weeks, and they still haven't even found any type of evidence of where these babies are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a sad situation, and every time I hear because I'm constantly on YouTube. I watch all my YouTubes. Shout out to Crenshaw. I love her. She's amazing. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you go and let somebody else talk. But yeah, that was my concern of why did the chief say they're not suspect?
Yeah, when he said it, it blew me away that he would even make an accusation like that in front of everybody. Unless, guess what? He knows there's more stuff and it's not added towards the adopted parents, but he's not saying that.
Right.
I know Crenshaw trying to call in.
All right, I'm gonna get off your love, and thank you for letting me talk and have my opinion, and you have a good night and be blessed. And I will continue to watch you.
All right, thank you. God bless you.
All right, love.
All right. Hey, this is SP.
All right, thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, this is Crenshaw.
Hey, yes, I can barely hear you, Crenshaw. What's going on?
Let me turn my volume up for a second. What about now?
Okay, it didn't really change, but we'll make it manage.
Hold on, let me don't put you like
that. Okay. Okay. Don't nobody call in. Let her call in. Let Crenshaw call back in. I just wanted to share the things that I wanted to share. If someone missed it, please go back at the beginning of this video and check it out. And that's what we're talking about. This might be her. Hey, this is SP. Who's calling?
This is Crenshaw.
Hey, okay, we can hear you good, girl.
Yeah. So, okay, I just wanted to kind of go over to this. I'm not sure if you're really familiar with me. I try to, well, I don't watch a lot of videos about the case in particular because I just do so much of my own research. And there was a couple of people will come and they'll ask me questions about like certain things, and I wondered where certain information is coming from. Like, and when I came in, there was a couple of things I wanted you to just like kind of go over that I heard like for myself what you were just talking about in this particular law, which is like where you feel like the race thing is an issue as far as who.
Who I feel like a race issue? No, I don't feel like it's a race issue. There is a race separation when it comes to all nationalities. And we were speaking on someone had came in and said the Spanish don't like the African Americans down there and such.
When you say down there, are you talking about Bakersfield?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
If you're familiar now,
No. Listen, hold on. This is not about a race issue. This is someone called in, not me. Someone called in and said that this is how it is down there. Not me. Okay? I'm
just here. The reason why I called up is because for me I live in Los Angeles as of now for the past couple of years, but that's Bakersfield is where I was from. So, they live on the east side. It's nothing but Black and Mexican. So no, no, it's not. I've been where they live. I know. I've walked up to every door, and it's not an issue for them or their family or where they live. I have not gotten that impression at all whatsoever. Even one time, that is literally how they live amongst each other. It is like that's how East Bakersfield is. So there's no. So as far as anyone thinking that maybe that could be an issue, or if there's that's not. And I would say so because I would know, and it would be a problem for me if I felt like race was an issue. And I just in this particular instance, in this particular family, that's not the issue. And then I was wondering what you were talking about.
Well, the caller that had called in, it was about last week or whatever. I guess that's their opinion of it, and they said that the Spanish and the blacks. Everybody, please hold the phone calls for right now.
I'm not saying that can't be an issue in other places. I'm sure it is. As a matter of
fact, they were talking about in California. They were talking about down there in California, though. I mean, up there,
specifically in East Bakersfield, California.
No, I don't know if they were talking about Bakersfield. I don't know if they were talking about Bakersfield. They actually just said California. It was a problem, but and I iterated on that because I know down here people are going to call in anyway. Please, you guys, stop. Let me talk to her real quick. That the Spanish here, they do have a problem when African American do want to date a Spanish female. They get really upset about it. And they do get upset. And I know this for a fact. And people say, well, I know this for a fact because I live here. Well, I know it for a fact, too, because guess what? My nephews and my nieces is Puerto Rican, and it took almost a bill right had to be passed in order for my brother to marry that woman and go through all kind of stuff. And not only that, my grandson is kind of got that in his, and I mean, it gets kind of really bad sometimes when the Spanish woman wants to date out of her race down here. Now, I don't know if it's like that down there.
I know, and that's I'm not saying that.
But we wasn't really speaking on that. We were just saying that how sometimes why.
But I was just wanted to let you know, as far as that area where they are, I can attest to the fact that that isn't the issue in that particular area.
Well, we was wondering why was no African Americans even at the vigil or even helping, come out and help.
Well, first of all, the vigil that's going to be for the boys is going to be in Bakersfield. Actually, on the 2nd, I will be in attendance along with the majority of the biological family members and everything else. The only reason why more people who weren't of African American descent or biological family, if you will, were present at the vigil in California City is because literally right before the vigil, it was made clear that it was said that we weren't welcome. After somebody had broke into the back case or the backyard of, in relation to the case of the California City House. So if people feel like they're not welcome, why would they then show up? It has nothing to do with, race, but the majority of the people that live in California City that were there.
So who said that, who wasn't welcome?
You didn't hear about that? There was a huge thing where the chief of somebody had, not only was the one window a while back, weeks ago, one window was broken. Then after that, there was a very big deal about when somebody went into the backyard of the California City House, and people were saying that people had to clear it up. I know the AP News crew has multiple videos about it where you had to go to the police chief because it was said that the chief had said it. You had to ask him directly, "Hey, is it true that you said people from Bakersfield aren't welcome here?" So it has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with the fact that they're having their own ritual, which will be on the 2nd of February, and they thought if people feel like they're not welcome, they're not going to show up. But every single person, a majority of the people that was searching for those boys came down all the way from Bakersfield, and they all black, and we were searching in California City from day one. When it became apparent that it wasn't necessary to search in Cal City because Cal City is probably not where the boys ever were, you're going to see less people watching to drive down there. When myself, when I go out to work, I go to Bakersfield.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
okay.
So that's so yeah. So
well, somebody was just in here and they was asking, and I was like, that was kind of weird to me that these are two, it don't matter, but they're African American boys. But I couldn't understand why no one there was there to represent them, not even the biological mother. It just didn't make sense to me. And then I said, well, how can they be racist or something when they're there trying to support the cause of finding these boys when nobody else showed up? So I'm glad somebody showed up, but I didn't see it that way. But that's somebody's opinion, nevertheless. But
and then the ritual thing when I first came in, so I had the very tail end of that. I just wanted to elaborate on that if you would.
Okay, what ritual?
When I came into this chat right now, you were talking about rituals, and somebody saying like a biological member of the family saying something about rituals.
No, one of the biological, family. So on the father, the grandfather has on his Facebook page that they will help you clean up this or they will help you clean up that, and there's no such thing. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with a human sacrifice, and give them a call and such. And I'm going,
who said that? The biological member
the biological grandfather.
Ryan, his dad? Huh.
Yeah, go check your Facebook.
I thought I'll look into the Facebook. That was just surprising.
I don't know if it's still up there, but he did put it on, and I may even took a picture of it. If I took a picture of it, I'm pretty sure I took a picture of it. I just don't know which phone is it on.
I just want to do it like some of the mix, and then there was the other one thing I wanted to ask you about before I get into the whole working. We get to with the Wanda thing, right? I'm gonna ask you about Wanda, and then I'm gonna tell you my situation with Wanda that I encountered and actually recorded yesterday. But what I've been hearing about, is it you that said that Wanda has a daughter, or that Wanda there's another Wanda that actually has custody of the children, or something to that effect?
Wanda has a daughter named Wanda.
No, okay, no. Where are you getting that? Where did that information come from?
You're asking me where did I get the information from? From a family member.
No, that's what I'm wondering.
And I know that you went down and you was trying to figure out the kids in the married to this, and how the kids, and you only see the boys, but she also has a daughter, and I didn't say anything. Yeah, she does has a daughter named Wanda. You saying where did you get this information from?
I've asked all of her. I was just wondering.
You can ask anybody you want. I guarantee you she has a daughter named Wanda.
And the daughter named Wanda also lives in Bakersfield because
I don't know if she lives in Bakersfield, but I know she has a daughter, and those kids was placed there.
Okay, because the children. Okay, well,
that's what I'm
the thing
saying.
about Wanda is and now she clearly has a lot of
I mean, you asked me like I'm on an interview or something. Where'd you get that information from?
I want to no. Here's the thing too. It's not your look. There's a lot of people that come to people, and especially like if you're not like right there or whatever, and they'll give purposefully to throw all of us off this misinformation. And I'm just trying to like help all of us out by just what I can do, telling the truth about what I've experienced and what I've known and what I've gone over there and knocked out every single neighbor's door and started talking to all of them. I know some of the people that know those people that live right around the corner that have watched the house that have, so there's information that I just want to be able to help all of us with.
Honey, we talked to the lady. We've been talking to family members down there. We have warriors down there. We have a person that's in our group that is part of the family.
Which yes, and
which that's what I'm saying. That's why I know the information is true, because she is biological part of the family. So when I said, yeah, that she has a daughter named Wanda, and that's where the kids were at one point in time, I know for a fact because I know she is part of their family.
And I don't want it to be taken out of like the person if I'm like, I'm not trying to be argumentative or rooted anyway. I want to be able for us all to have the correct information, because it's not going to help. Like, for example, even with Wanda. Now, when I approached Wanda yesterday, actually, I wasn't even speaking to Wanda. Didn't plan on having a conversation with her because she usually doesn't come out of her home.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to her neighbor across the street about the fire, because it's only been, as of right now, 3 neighbors, but one of them is building English, that have confirmed the large fire that they had in their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a new little burn pit. So when I was speaking, so as soon as I went over there, she came to the front of the yard, came all the way up to the fence, made the neighbor. I played a lot of the conversation. I played this conversation with the neighbor who said that, does she not like you? And I'm like, I didn't know she knew who I was, but apparently she must have.
Was you talking to the neighbors, the Spanish ones that live next door?
At that time, no. I was speaking to, they were, I'll never say, they're across the street, and they're African American. They're not Mexican or Spanish speaking.
No, the neighbors that live across the street is African American.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
But it's not just a house. There's neighbors who live across the street that are African American in apartments and in homes. Because like Potomac has multiple, right across the street from them on Potomac, there's like homes where there's African American neighbors, and then there's apartments as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But the ones that live right across the street, we know them personally. They African American.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So as I'm speaking to them, then they'll be able to confirm this, and I've already also like played this too. They made it, it was very uncomfortable. If you want to came up at this trying to listen, and at that time, she says to me, as I'm leaving out, I didn't want to make him more uncomfortable because he has to, live there right across the street, and I don't have to like see her. So as I'm leaving and I walk across the street, I asked her, I said, would you like to, speak to me at all about the missing babies? Because they're only 3 and 4 years old. And at that time, she said, she actually shouldn't say anything. She shoots her hand and shakes her head, no, that's for me to leave. And then you hear me on the video say, okay. And then she says, you keep doing what you're doing. You think you got it wrong, but you got it though. And it's been like a puzzle. I says, can you hear me?
Right. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, yeah, I was sorry to go on the video.
No, I think
it was the oddest. It was the oddest thing ever. And I keep, and I played the video even the actual,
Right, but what did you get out of it? Did you get out of it that she was being sincere to you, or what? Because Wanda done cut off all ties through to the family and her friends now because we were getting inside information. But I just want to know when she said it, do you believe that she was sincere? Like they got nothing to do with it? Like you got it. Like the kids were taken, but you
I took it as, I don't know which, I don't want to see, and I always try to deal, I always try to avoid conjecture and speculation or misinformation and just deal with facts. And that it would be so speculatory because it could be taken multiple ways. But the thing that weighs on me more than anything else is maybe she was trying to say, because when she said that I got it twice at the beginning of the statement and at the end of the statement, it's basically like, but then she said in the middle of it that I was wrong. So like, was she trying to say it was Jacqueline and not her son?
That she was trying to say it was Jacqueline and not her son.
That's what, like I just said,
That,
asking my opinion.
That's what you got out of it. No, that's what I'm saying. You saying what you got out of it.
Yeah, but this is a total respect. Like I said, I don't even like to speculate because she could have meant something totally different. But if she's telling me, if she assumes, she clearly knew who I was. Or the way the neighbor said, "Oh wait, does she not like the way she was looking at me?" It felt like she wanted to say something to me. But then when I asked her if she wanted to speak to me, she didn't want to speak to me, but she had to say that little comment. And I recorded it and I played it on the live. I don't ask anyone to take my word for anything. So yeah, and it could be taken. I mean, it could be taken a few different ways. It could be taken a lot of different ways. But that's what I'm saying.
That's all she said.
Be careful. Yeah. And then you got it. Keep doing what, like when I asked her if she wanted to speak to me about baby or whatever. No, and then you got it, and then I played it on my live, the live pretty close to the beginning of the live that I did last night because it took me a while to drive back home, and I went live and just told everybody about the day that I had, and I went and I spoke to the lady of the store that they went into, the novelty store. I did all of that, and like I said, I'm not trying to necessarily I'm not trying to correct people, but I just want to correct any misinformation because it leads people to think things that are when we're all going to benefit from the truth and the facts, no matter what they are. And I truly believe that there's a lot of misinformation going around, planned on purpose to get people off the focus of what's really going on here.
Yeah. I don't when we're trying to keep the focus on the kids, that's why maybe I'm a little bit sharp when people want to talk about race and and this and that and the other, because guess what, to be honest with you, it ain't about that. It's about two kids missing, whatever color they are. But
to try to and doesn't have you thinking about race. They have us having a conversation about race. I was a lot of people were talking, Black Lives Matter in the chat, and I'm like, look, they're trying to, make it even more so. And I'm like, okay, it's all a deflection because it has nothing to do with that. And I can attest to that because I've been to places where race was an issue. I have, and I'm telling you that in this particular case, that is not an issue. And I'm telling you, and there's certain things that I know and I can attest to. I lived there for decades. I know these people.
Right. Well, and I don't know, you wasn't probably in the live when we was doing the live when the young man said that. And I said, well, I don't see that. The reason why I don't see it is just because, like I said, when they did the vigil, I'm like, I don't see no Black people there. I only see Spanish descent there. So, and they worried about the baby. So where are we at? That when we seeing where are we at? Why nobody showed up? And
as a visual, but like I just said, the only reason why I'm sure, because when it was time to search, there was nobody that of African American descent afraid to go to Cal City. As a matter of fact, the members of the biological family were in Cal City yesterday. When I was in Bakersfield doing my thing by myself, the biological family members were actually they were in California City. So they're not afraid to go there, and it's not, but when it comes to a visual, when the police chief had made it very clear that people from Bakersfield basically weren't welcome there, I mean, you got to expect that, some people might feel uncomfortable to show up.
Now, did you used to be, well, California City is probably more Caucasian than any other, and you're out in the desert. That's probably not a good place,
And then Jessica saying that the time that the highway will flow through the snow. I mean, yeah, but you will, the fog, I mean, I'm not saying that, look, there's multiple reasons, yes, why the visual didn't have more people from Bakersfield there, but it's not because they're afraid to go to Cal City or anything of that sort.
Okay. But wasn't you friends with the biological mother?
I know her. Friends is a strong word. Friends is like I haven't seen her or heard from her in 5 to 6 years because one of my very good friends is her cousin. That's how I know her. So when you have a close friend and you're at the birthday parties, you're at the barbecue, you meet the family members. Mm-hmm. So I knew her. She was in my home. So you
knew her before she. Oh, you knew her before she was pregnant with Classicans.
Yes, I knew her before she was pregnant with Sincere. Yes.
Okay. Is she a good mother?
Yeah, with her son that she has that she had before. Yes, she was cooking, like the stuff that she would talk about or whatever. Like she's always worked. She's cooking, cleaning. Like I never knew her to be an irresponsible person or a bad mother. I can't attest to everything about a person that I don't know, but what I can say is what I had witnessed personally in the time that I had interacted with her. And she had been over to it turned out when my friend came over, she lived at the time when I was on this street in Bakersfield. She was like right down the same street. She came over like a couple times. So I met her, I don't know how many times. Yeah, she seemed like she's a happy person, a decent person, a good mom. She had her son with her. Every time that she came over, she had her son with her.
Okay.
So she was, I had nothing negative to say about her.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's it's a lot now, but people take that and say that that I can't attest to for everything that everyone's done. But I was very, very, very close friends with her cousin, and still to this day,
one of my best friends. Well, what do you feel about the chief of police saying that the adopted parents is not a suspect?
I think that the police say that everyone who has been a serial killer at some point in time, when they interviewed them and let them go, that they were not a suspect. I think the police get things wrong. I think that just because the police say that they're not a suspect, to me, doesn't mean anything when the mountain of evidence that I've seen with my own eyes points to them being a suspect. He can't say that they're not a suspect when he has not done a thorough investigation of that backyard or home of his parents in Bakersfield on Potomac Avenue, because he wouldn't know what that evidence weighs. You understand?
What's the evidence?
Maybe you haven't seen much. Like, okay.
I mean, I seen the yard and everything.
Okay, it's not just Okay, so it's the yard, it's the van, it's the pictures. I haven't even shared the pictures from inside of the van that's in front of that yard. There's a lot. Like the thing is, there hasn't been a forensic investigation done in Bakersfield at all, be it at their last address or even the parents' current property. So because of that, I feel like he doesn't even have enough evidence to say, that if you only search forensically the California City home, but we don't know that the boys ever made it to that home, and all of the evidence weighs to the fact that they didn't ever make it there.
Okay, so let me ask you one question. Somebody in the chat wanted me to ask you, do the mom, she said, SP, can you ask her if the biological mother still have her own or other kids? Do you know?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
Yes, they've not been taken from her. Yes.
Right. So, I mean, you can speak and say what you want, but I want to ask you one question. So, all this evidence and everything that you have, and there's not no arrest, and the chief of police says that they're not even a suspect, and I know, what if you're wrong? And what if you're wrong?
If they did a forensic investigation of the Bakersfield, properties that's been submitted to them, and it turns out that I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and I'll be the first one to say that. But it can't be said if it hasn't actually been investigated.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But what if they find? But what if they find these kids with the with the biological family somewhere, or whatever? What if they do, and all of this is put out there? You just say, I guess I'm wrong, and then everybody just go on with life. You know what I'm saying? And all these allegations is out there.
I'm biased. I don't want people to think that because I've met her in the past that means that I'm going to automatically say that she's no. If there was any evidence of anything of the sort, from what I've been from day one, just consistently looking into, I would say that maybe that's a possibility, but there's absolutely no evidence to support that. And again, if I am wrong, of course I would be the first one before anyone else knew that I was wrong to say it, because I don't like to operate with misinformation. And if I try to be very careful about what I put out to the public. And if I do say something that's ever incorrect, I will definitely correct it. But right now, I've just been dealing with what I know to be factual, because there's so much misinformation, and there's no evidence of the children ever making it even to Cal City.
Well, you're saying there's so much information. So please let me understand what factual evidence you say that you have.
Aside from I've discussed this, I've shared it with not only the BPD, but the California City Police and the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
I submitted it to them via email, phone calls, and whatever other avenue that they wanted. I have the Wang from the news and Bakersfield helping me look into the fire exactly when it happened and to go. But there's a lot more that needs to be investigated. The home, I can't stress this enough. The residents in Bakersfield has never had a forensic investigation. They might have went there and knocked on the door, asking some questions, maybe some steps inside, and that is it, and that's all. But the forensic investigation that was done in the California City home, that it was an actual thorough investigation, needs to be done in Bakersfield as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that I'm really after.
Okay. So you don't. So you're saying you don't have any evidence. You just want them to go and check that home.
Well, I don't. What do you mean? I don't have any. Okay.
That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you what evidence is.
Okay. The day before they moved, or not, I don't know if it was the day. In the same month that they moved to California City,
mm-hmm.
They had a huge fire, so large that the fire department had to come put it out. They told the neighbors two different stories. One neighbor that they were burning trash, the other neighbor that something caught on fire. In addition to that, there's a huge pit in that backyard that's been dug. I could only imagine that that's where the fire was. One of the large seats of their van that's parked in front of the house is now inside of the yard. Was removed, and in that backyard, and parts of the seat cushion where you would sit down were ripped out and burned in certain areas. There is a lot that needs to have a thorough forensic investigation ran on it. This is evidence that needs to be investigated, and it is still on that property.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I'm calling evidence, because that is in fact evidence, and it hasn't been thoroughly investigated. That is a fact. Have the police showed up, knocked on the door, asked some questions at the Casa Loma apartment and on Potomac Avenue? Yes, not to any of the neighbors, but just to the parents' address, and that's basically about it.
Okay.
And before we could say that it's ruled out, like JJ just said, before we could say that they're ruled out or anything ruled out, a forensic investigation should properly be done, just like it was done in California City.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there was absolutely no children walking, or that they were carried or walked back into the house with them on the 19th of December, right?
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that as a fact, then we have to wonder, were they ever there? We never saw them get into the car earlier that day. We've never seen any proof of them there. We don't know if they ever even made it out of Bakersfield. So, of course, that property, especially as suspicious as the backyard looks. And there's a lot of videos and whatnot too, and audios that I've given to authorities that I haven't put out on YouTube. But yes, it definitely needs to be investigated, and it's very frustrating that it hasn't properly been.
Mm-hmm. It probably hasn't been properly done because you can't just go and just say, I want to tear up your house and look for the kids over here, over there, because you're kin or your mama, your grandmother. You got to have something to validate that judge to sign over that warrant to go over there to search.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I was asking you. What is validate evidence to even make them go? Because they had a fire
inside of the side of the van, the glove that matches the glove that was found in California City, the pit in the backyard, the suspicious fire that we don't know what was burned, the van seat that was removed and that was burned in certain areas. All of that is circumstantial. I mean,
I get it.
Just cause.
I know.
Just cause to at least do a thorough investigation of the property.
Well, Miss Crenshaw, I get what you're doing, and I you know, I pat you on the back, and I support you 100%. Anything is better than nothing. So I'm not downing you. Trust me, I'm not downing you. And getting a hold of the police with everything that you believe could be some information is better than no information. But with you telling them that, and they have not sought a warrant. They're looking somewhere.
The FBI seems to take me a little bit more seriously than the other police departments, but it's just a mess because it's in the California city's jurisdiction now. And when you call them, and I have that call, they act very nonchalant about it. The BPD is like, you're going to refer you to them, and then so hopefully with the information supplied to and even with what I'm working on further behind the scenes with whoever in Bakersfield, because just all we want is a thorough investigation. I know myself and most people, just to be able to, before anyone could be ruled out, because it's extremely suspicious behavior coming from that location, and that's it. And that's it. I'm not here to tell anybody that they're everyone is welcome to have their opinion, but the facts help people form the correct opinions. Otherwise, it's just conjecture. So I want people to be able to form opinions based on the facts. And there's a lot of facts that support the fact that these people are that their behavior is extremely suspicious.
Yeah.
And that they need to be thoroughly investigated.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating that they're out and have the ability to get rid of it, and how much more evidence and how many, it was been like, what is it, the 37th day, or how many days it's been that they were reported missing, and they might have been gone for months prior to that.
Yeah. Well, today, the 31st or the
there's no proof of them ever, not even one video from any surveillance ever of them ever being Cali City.
Mm-hmm.
There just isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
There just isn't.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm not going to sit here and say that I agree with the police chief that they aren't suspects. In my opinion, they absolutely are. And I don't know that every single serial killer at some point in time, it's a known fact that at some point in time they were interviewed, right, by the police,
mm-hmm.
and they were said, and they were ruled out. The police said they weren't a suspect. And guess what? They went on to keep killing until they were a suspect, and then they were apprehended. So I mean, just because you think me, the police chief of Cal City, telling me, who has never even investigated the Bakersfield property, that they're not suspects, that I'm going to take that as gospel, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
Yeah. But you think the biological family has nothing to do with this?
Yes, I honestly believe that they. Yes, and if they did. These aren't like my family members. I would have no reason to say otherwise. If I felt like anybody had these children and had all of us searching and investing all of our time and all of our gut, and I travel to go up there to do everything that I'm doing. If I thought, why would I do any of that? If I thought that these people had these dates, that wouldn't be right.
Right.
That would not be right. No, I do not believe that the family and the family members,
right,
they're searching. They
Right.
were in Cali City yesterday. They were
Right.
with me in Bakersfield the last time I lived there, and the time before that.
Right.
When I found dirt that was disturbed, they're the ones that got me the shovel.
Right.
So no, I don't believe that they're involved. That's my opinion.
Okay. And so do you think that the chief of police is covering up something for?
I don't know if it's so much that he's covering something up or just a I mean it's a possibility, or it's just a lack of even caring to truly investigate, using the hours and manpower, and to do a thorough investigation. It's either I don't know. A cover up would be one theory. Some people have that theory, or it could also just be just him not caring enough to thoroughly investigate.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to take too much. Every time I know someone in the chat saying that they want the next caller or whoever to come up, so I don't want to.
Well, I really enjoyed speaking to you and talking to you and getting your theory, your opinion, and trust and believe I support anybody that is looking for these babies, and don't think that I was trying to attack you in any kind of way. I just wanted to know definite questions like, what was the evidence, or what do you feel was the evidence and things?
There's definite reason for. I mean, yes, if the FBI has confirmed that that's more than enough reason for them to investigate that property. There's just a thorough investigation. From what I can tell, from what the neighbors have told me, when cops have gone over there, they have not. Okay, a police officer going up to the front door, maybe even going into the house, is not the same thing as them going over there with crime scene investigation units, with the FBI, has that, and the same thing that they did at the California City address has never, ever been done.
So, let me ask you one question, and yeah, somebody was in the chat talking about they was at the dope store getting some sex toys or whatever. I heard they didn't buy anything, but I don't know what's going on with that. And someone made a video saying that that's where they do all their informational trading, communicating when you sell kids and things of that nature. And I mean, I'm like, wow. I mean, it gets really kind of crazy. But I want to ask you one question though, and I asked you this before. If it comes out with all this that you say, if it comes out, because see, when we try our best to stay on the fence. So I'm not saying the biological mama and their family done all of this. We state what we find, who said what and when, and we try to have all the receipts with that. And we have the receipts if we ever have to go to court, because we're not trying to get bashed or anything. But just in case, and the only reason why I want to say I hope that you're wrong, because if you're right, then the kids are gone. The only reason why I want to say I hope that you're wrong is because if you're wrong, then the kids, it's a possibility that they're still alive. But if you are wrong,
if I am wrong, then a thorough investigation will be done, and they can be ruled out, and everybody can rest assured and easy that they've been properly investigated and ruled out, and nobody will even have suspicions. But the behavior, their behavior.
Yeah, their behavior is out. Yeah, their behavior is you.
And people, someone saying that as if at no point in time did I say that I know more than anybody else. What I know is what I know to be true, and that's all I speak about. I don't speak on the speculation of things that I don't know. I'm not saying that I know more than the police. I will say that I know more about the house on Potomac than the chief of police in Cali City does, because he's never been there. Okay, so I can't say that with assertion,
Okay.
I mean, if he's never been there to know one way or another how suspicious it looks or it does not look. But who takes him out?
They actually did. They actually did go there.
They didn't do an investigation. They might have, even if they did go there and knock on the door and speak to them, they couldn't even go inside of their home. There was never, and the neighbors have confirmed this. The cops, when the cops showed up, they notice the day the cops show up, but they have never done a forensic investigation. That's the difference. That's what I'm referring to.
Oh. Okay.
So that's it. And I'm not saying I know more than anybody, but I'm not a private investigator. All I'm doing is pointing out the facts and asking the police, begging the police just to investigate so that we can find these babies. Because no matter where they are, what happened to them, they need justice, and they just need to be found.
Well, I want to thank you for looking for him and keep on looking for him. And I hope, like I said, not in a disrespectful way. I hope you are wrong, because if you're wrong, then there's a possibility they're alive. But if you're right, then they are gone.
I mean, so you're saying that? What makes you think that I'm saying that they're gone? I mean, there could be evidence in the forensic investigation of they were burning clearly something. I don't know what they were.
So that's why I'm saying, if you're right and they were burning the kids, then they're gone.
Oh, no. Let me clear that up too.
Okay.
I never said or suggested or thought that's far fetched. I never said that. I think that they probably were burning evidence. I don't think that they were burning children's lives. I don't know what they were burning back there, because the fire department didn't do an investigation. They just came and put out the fire. Nothing was investigated. I don't know what was burned back there. I know there was a huge pit, and I know that parts of that back. I know that there clearly were things that they were wanting to destroy, and I think that there was evidence that they never wanted to take with them to California City, because it happened right before they moved there, according to multiple neighbors' accounts of when this fire happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm saying. Which is, like something in the chat, like I should say that it's when you said what evidence do I have, and that's also I answered you and such. But yes, it would be potential evidence. It's definitely potential evidence, and I've submitted all of this to the proper authorities. I don't just come on YouTube and talk about it, but I'm letting people know what is really going on out there, so that people have the facts of what's being said, what's being done, what it looks like out there, and what we're finding or not finding, and that's all we could do is look for these babies.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up for us.
Of course, yeah, and thank you for having me up here.
All right.
So, yeah.
All righty. You have a good evening.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad she called in, and I'm trying to get through. It's so hard. I'm gonna take this last call. I'm gonna say this in the chat. I'm not gonna say this person's name. I almost want to delete you, and you can take it however you want. I'm not in here to argue with no one, whether she said it or not said it, or however, or we got it wrong or whatever. We're in here having a conversation, and so you got to ask these questions. It's not about who's right or who's wrong. This is about two kids. This is serious. So I do take this very serious, you guys. I want you guys to know it. So it's not like a team this or team that. I want you guys to know. So I wanted to know the evidence that she had, and wasn't bashing her commentary. I'm glad that there is people out there looking, regardless what side, what they believe or whatever. I'm glad that they're looking. I hope I don't stop anybody from looking, because that is not my intentions. My intentions is to bring you every piece of evidence that we possibly can bring. And anybody that has information, they find their way over here some way. But I'm not the one to be interviewed. I'll be telling you right now, because I don't give out my information. So when they try to start, that becomes difficult for me. And I'm not finna say it in front of you, nobody else. I'm just letting you guys know, because if they know it, I've already been knowing it. Okay, it's not news to me. But I just want to clarify what information that she has. Like, she wanted to clarify, where'd you get your information? And I said, from family. And I meant that. That's why I stand on that information. That was family that gave us that information. And they could tell us a lie and make us look like stupid or whatever, but I doubt it. They haven't spoke to me since. Um, and all of it's hearsay, she say, and I seen the thing that she had put together, and that's why she said, "Well, why do you think she got a daughter named Wanda?" And I didn't see her have anything of that on there, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna call her up and say you're wrong. She got a daughter named Wanda. I'm not gonna do that. You know why? Because I only get the information that's given to me by the people that's giving it to me, and I know if they lie or not lie. They may get it wrong, but I know that they're not liars. So if they gave it to me, then that's what I give to you guys. And when I say that a part of Warriors for Children is a part of that family over there, I believe what they're saying because they don't want us to get in trouble because they're in trouble and now they're not speaking and talking and things of that nature. I'm not gonna bash no channel. I'm not gonna bash nobody's commentary, and I'm definitely ain't gonna let them come over here and bash me. You can think what you want to think. I'm not bashing the biological mother. I'm not a bashing the adopted parents. We gonna see it, and we all gonna have an opinion about it. I am missing a show that I needed to take this evening. Actually, I'm 37 minutes into it. Uh, No, it wasn't you, my next move. No, it wasn't you. It's just sometimes people think that if another channel, and this is why I tell people to don't say other channel because they come in here and they go, hey, let's, and then people think, oh, it's going to be a fight or a move around. No, it's not. No, it's not because I'm not the one. Hey, this is SP.
Hey, SP, this is Jack.
How you doing?
Good. Let me turn down the TV so it's not echoing.
Okay, go ahead.
So what is your input as far as, can you turn that sound line off? I'm just going to go right next. What do you feel about the second van that's outside of the adopted parents' home?
Well,
the Trezell's families.
Here's the thing, and I don't really say too much because we discovered that second van way before AV even made it fleet on the ground over there. And somebody had came in the chat and said, hey, SP, what do you think about AV finding that second van over there? And I was like, what are you talking? We already know about that. And the thing about that second van was, and it was told to me that I guess the family had the person that had the house before, that's the van was there then, and things of that nature. I really didn't talk too much about the second van, but I wanted to know who had the handicap because it's sitting in a designated area for handicap. And it was told to me nobody has the handicap. The lady that owned the home before, which the lady that owned the home before was some relations to Wanda West or who she was married to or how she got the home or whatever. And they just still parked there or whatever. So what do I think about the van? I don't think nothing about the van.
So as far as like the seat and stuff being burned, do you think that that does have relevance to the case since it was right before they moved? And they supposedly used that van to move some of the stuff to Cal City from what I heard.
Well, everything can be part of evidence. If it was burnt, the van, or the seat in the van, or them taking evidence out, and yeah, that could be evidence. Anything could be evidence. But we're looking at the chief. You would think that he would go get some kind of warrant and go over there. I mean, it only take nothing but cause to get the judge to give them a warrant. I mean, it don't have to be like outrageous evidence. It could be like, oh, they had a fire, the van.
Suspicion.
Yeah. And there's 2 kids missing. That right there will get the judge to say, well, go over. Okay, let's just go over there and search it. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna lose? You're not gonna lose anything. You just put your initials on something and say, let's go search it. So if they're not gonna, and then you can go get favors too. You can say, looky here, I really believe that we can find something that we need. There's 2 babies missing. Would you please sign this so we can go over there and search? And the judge says yes. That's all they gotta do. That's
Right.
it.
What I don't understand is why they haven't even bothered to make any effort to even go to that house, really. I mean, I know that they questioned some of the family requesting lie detector tests, and we don't even know if they did that.
Yeah.
Chances are they didn't, because we would get the results back like, hey, okay, they passed and everything's fine, they're cleared. But
No.
we didn't hear nothing. And typically in cases like this, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Theodore Coons.
Hold on. He did say that he asked him for a polygraph test. And on ABC World News, he said he asked multiple people for polygraph tests. Now, we're not going to get the results. Now, whether they want to share the results with us or not, and who said, yes, I'll take it or not, will be on them. But he's not even telling us who said yes and who said no. But even if they said yes, we don't get those results. They'll get the results.
So with this, what I'm concerned, or not concerned, but my curiosity is like, with the Dior Coons case, when the parents did their polygraph, they failed completely with flying colors, and the news knew immediately. Like, hey, yeah, they took the lie detector test and they failed. But they were never charged with anything. They can't find a body, so nobody was ever charged. So I'm like, I feel like that's going to be a similarity in this case, because if nobody's going to be talking and nobody wants to answer questions, everybody's being quiet, not giving any information. Like, okay, on the security cams on the 19th, they said, okay, we had the 2 boys the 19th because they couldn't go to grandma's. But on the security footage, you never seen 6 children. He had 6 children. He has his 2 kids, the adoptive kids, and then the foster kids. So at no point in any of these surveillance footages do we see any of the 6 kids all together. So, my question is, did they really go missing on the 19th or 21st or before that?
I know. It don't make sense. But clear video, we don't see close enough to see the kids and who was carrying kids. We don't see that, so we can't really sit there and say we just gonna assume what we seen was 4. You can't sit there and say, well, it just wasn't 6. We don't know. But there's another camera, and they're not telling you about this other camera that's right directly. And yeah, you can see a little bit more of who was in that vehicle and who wasn't. And I don't know, I couldn't tell you because I haven't seen it, but I do know that they got another video that shows clearly. And what the chief of police said, and I'm not trying to say I'm in agreement with the chief of police because he's a little bit arrogant to me, but for him to come on national TV and says everything that Trezell and Jacqueline is saying is true, it made me a little angry because I knew the time was off. I didn't see the police go when they arrived up to the house. They took off in the car. He says that they went in the backyard and started searching for the boys or whatever. And then somebody else is saying somebody else ran up there to the vehicle. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And the only thing that I can say, Annie's saying there, the chief is saying, how did these boys get out the backyard? He's not saying they were never in the house. He's saying, how did they get out the backyard? How?
When the dog didn't hit in the backyard, he hit in the house, which would make sense. I mean, if they had furniture and the kids were in the apartment playing on the couches and stuff, obviously their scent would be there, but it wouldn't be in the backyard if the kids were never there, or in the front yard if the kids were never there.
But the kids was in the house at one time.
And that's where I'm lost, because, I mean, if their scent was there from the previous address with their furniture and stuff, why wouldn't the dogs hit in the backyard or in the front yard? Because obviously they have to step somewhere to get inside the van or go anywhere with their parents, unless they're just leaving these 2 kids at home the whole time by themselves when they go to do their shopping, when they went Christmas shopping, when they went to the grandparents' house. And when they came back, in the front camera, you never see anybody else getting out of the van besides Trezell and Jacqueline.
At one time, did you see what we were talking about, the video showing the neighbors that's across the street or whoever that was across the street. I wouldn't say the neighbors. I don't know who it is across the street that when they was leaving, they step out and they looking at them driving down the street and then they step back. Okay. The sad thing about that is, and it's weird to me because people, when you get something, we look over things that is just right there in front of us and we want it to be a mystery and we're looking at something right there in front of us. But when AV went out there to the guy's house and he showed him in the live, I was in the live at the time and I was telling everybody, go over there right now, you guys go, because this is some breaking news right now. And we all went over there. um there was a car at that particular time, and I don't know where it's at now, but there was a van in the driveway that was across the street, and I don't see it on the video, but there was a van that was in the neighbor across the street's um, driveway or whatever, leaving at the time that he was looking for these kids. Now, I don't know who clipped and pasted and stuck things wherever. I remember seeing it because I said, well, it's the only, I didn't see the person sticking their head out or anything on the 19th. I didn't get that at all. Only thing I was thinking about is what activity was going on the night on the 21st. And the only activity I seen was the neighbors across the street leaving. They were leaving. And that's the bright light that we see that you can't see across the street because their car was on and they were leaving, and they shut, and we don't get to see them leave or whatever. But the car actually did leave in the live that we had seen, and I don't see that no more. And I was reaching out like, hey, you know, I don't know who fast forward the video or whatever, but that van left, and now we cannot find that video nowhere. But I know what I seen.
Is that the same neighbor that ended up moving and posted their house for sale? Do we know that?
The address is 10024.
Yeah, nothing in this case makes sense at all, period. And what amazes me is typically, like, if my child were to go missing, I would search high and low. I wouldn't care if they told me to stay in my house or not. I was like, I would be out there searching and I'd be screaming his name and searching high and low, day and day, night, everything. And I'd be trying to communicate with whoever and whomever. I'd be reaching out to the news like, hey, somebody help me. And those people helping search and everything, you think, okay, I'm going to go out and make an effort as well. Like, I'm not just going to sit and walk my dog and go to adult shops and do all these other things and worry about my dog and hang out with my family outside and just watch everybody just stand outside, ask me where my kid is, and I'm just not going to say anything. I mean, it's also so suspicious. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Like, okay, the police told me to stay inside. Okay, well, are they questioning me in my house? If not, then I'm going to go out and look for my kids.
Right.
If the cops are here, I'm not going to obviously run away from the cops. I'm going to sit there and talk to them, make a plan. Okay, they're going to go out and search. I'm going to go search too. Obviously, somebody's going to be at the house. There's two of them. One of them could have went with the cops and went and helped search.
Right.
Instead of just driving the block for 3 minutes, even if that, and then coming back. The windows weren't even down in the van. It's what I've seen or what everybody else is saying as well. So how are you going to be calling your kids' names with your windows up and your dog in the truck?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just, they're guilty all over. And, hopefully one of them end up cracking. I think somebody is getting close and they're starting to panic. And I think that's why they're just kind of like covering themselves from head to toe. And they're just not making eye contact with anybody. They're ignoring everything and everybody. And then you start getting the death threats and stuff from these random fake profiles and whatever when you're trying to search. And it's like, okay, are you hinting to me at something? Like, am I getting warmer? What?
Right. Right.
But that's all I have for now.
All righty. Thank you.
Thanks, SB. Bye.
Bye. I feel the same way she feel. KK, call in and tell us what you're talking about. Please, no more phone calls, you guys. I need KK to call in. KK, call on in. Tell us what you're saying, girl. Tell us what you're saying. What you talking about? You guys, I'm missing a whole show of something I really need to be on. I done missed the whole show because you guys want to hear this stuff. I want to hear it too. KK, you got my number. Don't make me call you. Do not make me call you, girl. because I got your number on speed dial. I really do. Call in, KK. Let's hear what you got to say, and then I'm gonna get off of here. Maybe I can catch the last 10 minutes. Something I really needed to see. She said, call in. Okay. KK gonna make me call her. She gonna make me call her. She gonna say, oh, my phone is full. I told you I'm gonna call.
I was trying to record the call right now for you, SP, so I could send it to you.
Okay, no, just tell us what's going on.
Okay, so I was talking on another live, so she was calling to calling Trezelle, trying to reach Jacqueline and Trezelle, and she called, and they were quiet on the phone forever. So I was trying to tell her to like play the good guy and just talk to them and say we're on their side, and she did that, and then Trezelle started laughing, and then he started rapping, and he said something to the degree of, I wish I could help you guys, but I'm from the East Coast and I can't, or something like that. And he started laughing and then hung the phone up. So then we called back, and Wanda got on the phone and she started cussing us out. So it was kind of like hard because we were basically trying to play the devil's advocate and just say, hey, we're on your side. We're just trying to help you guys out so that we can find the boys, and we believe in you. We got your back and stuff. And then that's when Trezelle started talking, like started laughing and rapping. But he started off rapping first, and then he started laughing after he started rapping.
Could have been Josiah, or their other brother, or do you know for sure it was Trezelle?
I'm not sure. I'm not for sure, but it sounded like Trezelle. And sometimes when you're related, you sound alike. Mm-hmm. And maybe it was Josiah, but somebody is on that phone playing serious games. And
how'd you get the number?
She had the number, honestly, and she made the phone call, and I just was telling her what to say in the chat, like,
who had the phone? Who had the phone number?
Another channel holder had the number. You want me to say her name?
Oh.
You want me to say her name or no?
Yeah, you can say her name.
Her name is Lady Queen Helping Hands.
Oh, okay.
She got the number, and I do have the number now. Oh. But she called, and it was sickening. It made my stomach turn, because this shit isn't funny. Whether it was his brother or whoever, it wasn't funny. They shouldn't be laughing. And they were laughing. Well, he was laughing. And he was saying stuff like, ha, 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 like that. It was just really sick. And
yeah, what was the area code?
Matter of fact, I'm going to play it for you.
Oh, play it for you. Play it for me.
You want me to play it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can go back and rewind it on my MacBook.
Okay.
Sure. Our phone will straight to voicemail. Okay. Can you
yeah.
So this was Jacqueline's phone number. She was calling at first. Hello? 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 Hello, can I speak to Jackie West, please? Hello? 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 I just want to talk to you, that's all. If you want me to, if you don't want to talk to me and everything else like that, that's understandable. But, I was just calling because, we is really concerned about the boys. And, we're trying to really help find the boys. And I know, that y'all guys been, want to help find the boys too. That's it. I'm not calling. I'm not calling to start no drama. I'm not, anything else like that. I'm just calling, on the strength of the babies. Why Miss Wanda or Miss Jackie? That's all. I'm not trying to cause no trouble or anything, and I hope that you can understand. No, that cold, that's them answering the phone. That's like the time. Like how many minutes I was on there. They picking up, but they not seeing nothing. This is Jackie. Hello? Please, I really hope that you have in your heart to really talk to me. I don't want no drama. I don't want to start no trouble, but we've been out here looking very hard for the boys. We've been looking every day, all day for the babies. We don't want no drama. We don't want no trouble. I just wanted to see if you was able to talk to me. That's all. I mean, you did pick up. You didn't have to pick up your phone. You did pick up your phone, and I'm not harassing you or any way. And I just hope that and that you can understand where I'm coming from. That's all. That you can understand and find some strength to to see if you can talk to me, please. Can you please have some strength for you to talk to me, please? Listen, I know that I know Wanda West or Jackie West. I don't know which one of y'all is which, but I'm praying in hope, or I don't even know, is this Trezelle? Trezelle, is this one? Is Trezelle, if I'm talking to you, Trezelle? Is there anything that we should do different to find the boys? Do you think that we should still continue to look in California City? Is this Trezelle? Trezelle, if I'm talking to you, Trezelle? Trezelle, what should we do different, Trezelle? Trezelle, listen. I'm not saying that you did anything. I'm not doing it. All I want to know, I'm not blaming anyone at all. I'm just trying to figure out where, where can I help you? Where can I help you find the boy? That's all. I don't want to harass y'all. I'm not harassing y'all or anything. I just want to talk to you. That's all. I just want to talk to you. Have some strength. Have some, please. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. And I believe this is Trezell. Is Trezell, did you pick up the phone? Hi, Trezell. I know you and Jacqueline is going through a lot. I know if it was my kids, I know I was going through so much. Don't nobody know what y'all going through at the end of the day. I know it seems like, that y'all, did something. I know that every time when you go to the store, people taking pictures of y'all, people's in front of your house, everything. But I'm not that type of person. And the only reason how that I got your number is through searching up. That's the only how I got your number because I really would like to talk to you. I really would like to talk to y'all. I really would like to know where can, if the boy's not found in Bakersfield or if they wasn't found in California, do you know where else we can look at? Huh? Trezell, as I'm talking to you, Trezell? Because I know you live with Jackie. I know Jackie is your mom. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no problem. I know I did already spoke to Jacqueline, which is your wife, and she talked about me by mistake, and I heard some things in the background. What you say? Oh, what you say, Trezell? Trezell, can you please have some right to talk to me? I believe you, Trezell. I really do. I believe that you're out here looking as well as we looking. You said you wish you could, but you can't, Trezell. Listen, Trezell. Listen. I know. Trezell, come on, Trezell. I know you a good person. I know you a good person. Don't you get tired of everybody just sitting here following? He hung up on me. Okay, then I'll skip it to the one that called right here. Next is next. He said,
Yeah, I don't believe that, KK. I mean, I'll tell you something in a minute.
okay. I'll just let you hear the one that called and then I'll get off. He said, I'm from the East Coast. He started rapping. He said, I'm from the East Coast. He said, I wish I would. He said, I wish I could touch. Okay? Tell me I'm not the only person that heard it. Gosh, let's try to call him again. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I feel like growing up, Neil. just because I heard his voice, talk to you guys and introduce myself. Like, I feel like I'm about to throw up. No lies. No lies. I feel like I'm about to throw up. You call it beat, you know me, but I don't know you. You didn't even introduce yourself. That is wrong, young lady. You are wrong. Well, I try to talk to you. I try to call and talk to you guys and introduce myself, but she hung up on me. She hung up. So there you have it. I don't think that it was. I'm sitting here watching, and I got the number. This is not a fake call or anything. I don't think. I don't. Now that I hear it, it didn't sound like Chazelle to me. It sounded like an older guy. But the Wanda lady or whoever it was, she was on the phone and she said that she was being rude and didn't even introduce herself or anything. So I don't think that it was the wrong number.
Well, you know.
What how you feel? What you think?
Hold on, let me thank somebody. Thank you, Healing Within, for the super chat. Thank you, lady, for the super chat. Let me try to read what you're saying here, and I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Let me read what she says. She says, I'm sure since it is said Trezell is into conspiracy theories, he most definitely researched Cal City and how they only have 13 cops and no resources. And how do we know that they gave cops an accurate scent from those babies? We don't know. Healing Within, we don't know. And you're right. You know, I would do research too if I was going to say somebody is missing. I wouldn't do it in my city, especially in town. I would go to the smaller town, the rural town, like where I live at, and be like, hey, this happened. You know what I'm saying? Because we only have like 5 or 6 over here. And then in city, you know, they have like 150. You know what I'm saying? They have different divisions. But I would do that too. So you're right. We have to think about those things. KK, now with you. So you was in this lady's chat and you guys called and everything. And so she researched their phone number. You honestly think that they would.
I'm a mod in her chat. I'm a mod on her channel.
You a mod. How long does this young lady have a channel?
She hasn't had a channel for that long, but she's been doing research and she has been finding a lot of pictures and finding a lot of addresses and finding out who owns what and stuff like that.
And so she called one of the numbers and okay, so the phone says do. And so it says you know, this is Jacqueline West. That's the answer machine, right? So you're talking about a landline. Are you talking about landline or are you talking about a phone? Because when my answering service pick up on my phone, it goes directly to you leave a message. And then at the end of the message, it's going to soon go beep. You know, it's going to only give you a limited time. She went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You thinking that they answered the phone?
Wait, you said it would say beep?
The phone will beep and give you that's the end of the time it gives you to leave a message.
Right. So when she called it did give it a beep, but she hung up. And then she called back. And when she called back, somebody answered the phone. That's what happened. Somebody answered the phone and they were just sitting on the phone listening to her talk. She was trying to convince them to say something, to talk to her. And I know it sounded like she was going on and on, but she was trying to convince them to have a conversation with them, to let them know that she was on their side and what could she do differently to help find the boys. Like, you know, did they want her to, like, basically she wanted to know, did they want her to look in a certain area or did they want her to do something for them? You know, basically that's what she was doing. And she dialed the number. She showed us the number And when she called,
what was it? What was it? What was the area code?
I'll give it to you right now.
Don't give me the whole number. Just give me the first 3 numbers. The area code.
Oh, I screenshot it.
I know KK telling the truth. I know.
I don't know. It starts I can vaguely see the number now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I did was I screenshot it when she put it up there, but I know the number starts with a 3 and ends with a 7, it looks like.
So the area code starts with a 3?
No, the number starts with a 3. I can't really see the number because I was screenshotting it, and so I couldn't see the number.
Big girl, you doing a little bit too much. You done ran in here and you doing a little bit too much already. Row 2.
I mean,
y'all, if I wanted to pass a test, I want y'all sitting next to me. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, but okay. Even if it's true, that
it didn't sound like Giselle to me. It sounded like an older dude. You know, when he picked up, whoever picked up the phone and they were on the phone now that I'm listening to it, it sounded like an older guy that was playing games on the phone, but I know that it did, whoever number she called, it was the West number, okay? And somebody did pick the phone up, and y'all heard it for yourself. That person going off on her, letting her know that how rude she was for calling and not even saying who she was, and she was going off on her.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I screen recorded what I could, but my phone is full.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a lie. But I mean, to each his own. Believe what you want to believe.
Right.
I'm just letting it be known that it was a call. We made a call and it didn't go very well.
Right. Well,
you know,
if there was, yeah. Okay. Well, it no harm done. If she tried to make a phone call and it don't matter. You know, she tried.
Have you spoke to Wanda, SP?
Huh?
Have you had a conversation with Wanda?
I have not had a conversation with Wanda. I have had some text messages with the biological family, 2 or 3 of them. I've had conversation with some of Wanda's family. You know,
I just asked you that because I wanted to know if the voice you heard, did it sound like Wanda West?
No, Wanda is not speaking to nobody right now. She's not speaking to nobody. She's not speaking to family. She's not speaking to friends. She's just shut down, and that's fine.
I would think if she had the kids per se, I wouldn't like if she had the kids, she wouldn't speak to nobody because it would be a gag order. I would think, but
she don't have the kids.
She doesn't have the kids.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Ain't no kids over there.
I'm not making nothing up, you guys.
I know, KK, you're not making up. You just spreading what you know. That's okay.
It caught me by surprise, and I was on your live and her live at the same time, and she was making these calls, and I was like, well, dang, the guy's laughing. It's not funny, and I like, irregardless to whoever it is, it's not freaking funny,
right?
And so I don't know why they're playing games on the phone like that. You know,
well,
they could have just hung up, really.
So, you know, it just looks really bad right now because people are like, well, who was it? Because their number, they've done changed their number and stuff. So she could be calling somebody else that got their number, and that's just it. Or, you know, a lot of people, I see this in another case. They were like, oh, you know, I spoke to that person. So everybody's like, well, what they say? And then we don't hear anything. But then people start going over there to subscribe because they thinking that person can get something or whatever. But it don't last long.
it's like, who really cares about all of that? It's about where are the boys? You know what I'm saying? And no, not over here on this end, nobody's playing
Not
games.
everybody
Just trying
think
to
right.
gain some subscribers. Because for one, I have a channel, but I don't have a channel. You know, I just have KK Alexa React. I don't have no, like, I'm not going to put a video out there. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about this right now, and I people need answers. We want answers. So it caught me by surprise, and I just typed it up in the chat to let everybody know there's some funny stuff going on. That when she did call the number, whoever it is was playing games on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but no, she wasn't trying to. She didn't even know I was on your live. I got you on my MacBook, and I got her on my cell phone, and I'm looking at your channel, but I'm looking at her channel too. You know, and she's like, I'm gonna call this number, you know, and find out if this number is still a working number. And when she called, the lady said, "This is Jackie West or Jacqueline West, whatever she said." And then I don't know if she called a different number and the lady name was Wanda. I don't know, you know, but I don't know. This is sickening.
Yeah.
And very stressful. And I was just throwing stuff out on the table. Like I said, I don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the bio mom did do anything. I'm not saying anything.
Right.
But she called this number, and the adoptive family side, whoever she called, they're playing games right now, and that don't look good. That's what don't look good. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'll send you the video though, SB, and then I'll send it to you where it's like you can see the number and the whole conversation and what took place, so that way you can decide for yourself whether you think it's real or fake or something. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't know I was on your live. I was just being nosy, you know.
Right.
But I'll send you the video, okay? Or you can go look at it. You can go look at it. I'll send you the channel, and you can go look at it.
Right.
Okay. It's towards the end. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling, though.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
I was going to text you, but I was like, well, let me screen record this real quick so I could send it over, you know?
Yeah.
And you called me in the midst, so, yeah, I didn't get to fully screen record it because it was all happening in real time.
Right.
And so, yeah. All right.
All right.
You guys have a blessed night.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. There's some mess going on in the chat. You guys, please behave yourself, mods and family members. Be respectful to each other. I see a lot of stuff that does not need to be done. Be nice. Everybody be nice, okay? We're finna get off of here. I'm finna get off here. You guys, I will see you guys Monday live at 5 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you guys take care of yourself. And I want to look at something before I go, but I will see you guys Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time. I need to think about a lot of this stuff. I want to look at something real quick, though.
The message has always been, as soon as possible, call the California City Police Department. And please bring our babies home. And that's that.
That's one of the reasons why we actually didn't want to do this.
This is the reason why. Because we were under orders to stay in the house and stay because they're going to need to contact us. And we cannot go outside, and that was the issue. And that's that.
That's one of the reasons why we actually didn't want to do this.
This is the reason why. Because
the Bio family.
She said she was wrapping gifts and she left my 2 kids out in the backyard because she didn't want them to see the gifts. But you didn't let the other kids out. Where were the other kids? Why my 2 just go back there? At night, she said it was dark. And it's cold right now, so I know it was cold then. So I don't believe it.
So when did she tell you this? Where were you when she told you this?
I just came here 45 minutes when nobody was here. 45 minutes to an hour, and we knocked on the door. And it took them a minute to come, and he came out. and he want to say he's sorry and all that. I just don't feel in my heart that it's something. They're not.
Do you have a relationship with these parents?
I don't know them. I don't know them. They did something. I feel like they did something and they know something. They did something. And I feel my kids is somewhere around here. I can feel it.